All right. Hello, everyone. I hope this is working. Hold on. I am doing some stuff here, so I hope everything is working. Okay. Looks like it's working. I do want to check something out real quick. I do want to see something before we get started here. Hope everyone's doing good. Um, listen. Oh, sorry, guys. Um, I have. Okay. I'm just doing some stuff real quick, guys. Sorry. Why is this not working? Okay. So, welcome everyone. I don't think anyone's there, so I'm not too worried. So, I don't know. The background situation is just a little... So, I just hate when the light's so bright. You know what I mean? So, I might have to get more light in here. That's okay. So, like, figure out my, like... It's just really terribly lit in here. Okay, why does it change? It changed now. I don't know why. Oh, because of how bright the screen was. Got it. All right, so we're continuing this. So, as I said last week, we're kind of running into this point now where leveling is going to be really hard for us. And I'm going to have to like really look at to see if it's worth it for me to sit here and grind my way through this stuff. I mean, it's gonna take me a very long time to finish this. Doesn't mean I'm gonna delete the character. It doesn't mean I'm never gonna return to it. I just feel like, I don't know, is it worth it, right? That's kind of my question. I want to make sure that I'm not doing, like, it kind of gets a little bit boring at some point. So we might take a break starting next week, and I might start a different run. Yeah, and so get ready for that. Oh, this is interesting. That wasn't here last time. Because we came through here and we did these, right? And we can, use the branded crystals to lure the... Okay, that didn't reach it. So you have to, like, break these and then throw them at them. Okay, apparently that was obstructed. I don't know why. Okay, why are these obstructed? What the hell is going on? Continuing with this today, so, I am working, so I have been talking about this fucking Shinji video, like, for fucking days now, but, or, really weeks now, but I'm finally getting to the point where I'm putting the video together and stuff, so I hope that I can get this done, I don't know, sometime this week or next week or something like that, just, sometime soon. I got over the worst part, I will tell you guys, but it's just a matter of putting it all together and stuff. And I'm currently downloading something, a pretty large file, so I'm hoping that my internet doesn't crap out on me or something. Because, oh, I'm using a skill. I'm not allowed to do that. What am I doing? See, I'm so, like, in the, like, thing of, like, just using stuff. So I can do this. Okay, I can't do this hard, so I gotta go. I gotta go somewhere else. I don't know why I'm using a skill. I'm not allowed to do that. What a bad pacifist I am. Alright, so fine. We'll move on. We can't finish this hard. We'll go north. But yeah, so that video is coming along pretty great. I think it's gonna be pretty good. And, yeah. I'm downloading some stuff for it. It's going to be a lot of work for me to put all the video stuff together and get all the pictures. I mean, you guys don't understand, like, how many Guild Wars, like, specifically from the wiki, how many pictures I have on my computer. Like, it's insane. I have an entire folder that's like a couple of gigabytes large just based off of pictures. I mean, it's not even like videos and stuff, it's just pictures. It's like hundreds and hundreds of pictures of icons and locations and characters and screenshots that I've taken in game, like all kinds of stuff. You know, it's really just a ton of stuff. I wonder if I can do this. Should try the other lightning rod. Should try the other lightning rod. Okay. Nice. Alright, cool. So we can do this. We'll just have to run every time we do this. We're pretty tanky though too, so not too worried. Yeah, I would really like to do a challenge or something that's just I don't know, like easier to do maybe. That's a little bit more interactive. Like, you know, this was fun in the beginning for low level areas because we would still level up really fast. The primary coil, what? Oh, this was okay, I got it. But you know, it's really getting to the point now where hearts don't give us that much. We can't even finish hearts. We can barely do any dynamic events because most dynamic events ask you to fight enemies and stuff. There's hardly any where we have to like collect stuff. There's hardly any where we have to like even escorting and stuff. Like collecting is the only one that we can really do. But yeah, so it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, okay, we just kind of run around the world at this point and we can't be killed because we're just super tanky. Even without, like, I'm not buying weapons or, like, I don't have weapons, first of all, so I'm missing stats as is. And then I'm also not buying, like, I kind of have, like, okay armor or whatever. But I'm not, like, buying the best armor on the TP because I'm sure there's, like, stuff that I can buy. Wait. Did that not work? Why did it not work? Wait, what? Okay. Because I wanted to activate it and it didn't activate. Okay, 2. And then this one over here, yeah? Okay, there we go. Got it. I think I can do some on the other... Oh, I can go back to these now. Okay. If I'm gonna do the, like, I'm really thinking about the, like, Pokemon challenge. I think that would be much more interesting to really do. Okay, why can't I activate any of them? Oh, it's already been activated. Okay, let's go on the other side, because I think I can do stuff on the other side. It'll just be more interesting that way. I can get a speed boost on a ranger, so I can move around a little bit faster. And then I can do... You know, I can actually fit, like, the goal at that point would be to finish map completion completely and just use pets, right? So the goal here is to just level to 80, which that, I guess, is the difficult part. But it's also just a matter of time investment. Really, that's all it is in this, you know? I mean, I can run around and repeat doing... dynamic events, for example, that let me like just collect items. Like I'm thinking of the one in the like temple up here. Where is it? Should be right here, I think. Somewhere. No, it's right here. Is it? I don't remember. It's somewhere up there. And you know, in that area, you just there's an event where you can collect these like scrolls or texts or something, and you can just keep on doing that. You know, you can just keep on collecting those. Let's share this. I'll just share this. I never share on Facebook anymore, so I'm gonna share this today. But yeah, you know, and I could repeat that over and over and over again. Like, there is really no challenge to this challenge. It's just a time-consuming thing. Like, I can go around harvesting for 3 years and get to level 80, right? So I don't really know where the challenge for this is, right? With other challenges, there is some kind of challenge to it, like, because for all the other challenges, it would be like the other challenges would have me do world completion, and we would have like a straight up goal in mind where it's like, okay, you know, because getting to 80 is easy, but getting world completion by limiting myself in some shape or form, that's the hard part, right? So you know, limiting myself on maybe traits, like not being able to use traits, for example, that would be a crazy challenge. I think that would be really hard to do. Of course, I would allow myself to like give myself whatever bonuses I needed, just because I would lack so much of stuff, I think. But then there's also like like I said, the Pokemon challenge, which would be using no weapons. But I do have someone that can attack. And pets, like if you go, like if you really look at like getting yourself good pets and getting your traits for specifically your pets and stuff. I'm gonna go back here, guys. I know we can't do this, but I'm gonna get this stuff before I move way up here, because this is like way up there and I don't want to go there yet. But you know, with pets and stuff, like they can get really strong. I mean, you go like with Beast Mastery, you go through like Beast Mastery and stuff, and they get pretty strong, right? You can do pretty significant damage with them. And I should be able to do all of the hero challenges and stuff like that. I should be able to do all that stuff. And it would be up to me to figure out how to do that. So there would be a little bit of build crafting, kind of seeing which traits work the best with the pet and stuff. And it's pretty much just focusing on the pet. And then, of course, I would be able to, like, buy armor and stuff like that, which, you know, I don't think would be like cheating or anything. And like I said, we could have a signet that gives me like a speed boost, and you know, that would make everything a little bit faster, and just kind of stuff like that. You know, I don't want to use mounts, because then kind of the challenge once again is done for a lot of the stuff, because I can just run past all the enemies. I can run past all the like events that are going on and stuff like that. Like, it's just a matter of like, oh, map completion, like I'll level up to level 80 either way. But I don't want to do that, you know. So it would be like no mounts, but like I would have a pet that could do the damage and stuff, and yeah, that would be kind of cool. So that's probably what we're gonna do. Yeah, it's probably what's gonna happen. Whee! So, and I might, you know, I might eventually pick this up again. Maybe I'll pick it up once we get like a slow time in Guild Wars 2. But I think specifically now with like the betas really like ramping up. I mean, we have like this 2 more betas coming, and we're gonna have like Halloween is gonna be going on right now, and I like doing Halloween. Like, the reason I didn't do like the Festival of the Four Winds that much is because I'm just not a huge fan of it. There's really not that much to do. It's very repetitive, because you like just do either you do Labyrinth Cliffs, where you just do the events as they happen, and you do the like races and stuff, which there's only like what two races, one skimmer race and then one where you have to be like the Dolyak or whatever. You know, and those are done like really fast. I mean, you can do them in like a minute or whatever. They're not super challenging or anything, and there's nothing really to do there besides doing those events and getting those items. It's pretty much just like a glorified exchange, because it's just about getting those bundles and exchanging your materials for the items and stuff like that. That's pretty much what it's for. And it's a cool looking area, don't get me wrong. I really enjoy going there and stuff like that, but there's just, you know, repeatable stuff. There really isn't anything to do. Now, when we're looking at Halloween, though, at Mad King's Day, like, there is, like, quite a few things you can actually do. They've added, over the years, they've added a lot of stuff to it. You know, they have their own PvP mode. They have the racing map. Like, you know, I could have, like, one whole stream just doing the races, because there's, like, 5 different races. You know, there's, like, 4... There's 4 races in the map, right? There's a jackal, a raptor, a springer, or is it just 3? There might just be 3. Still, there's like these races you can do and stuff like that, and that counts towards like your stuff. Then they have the PvP mode, like I said, the Reapers, whatever it's called. You have the labyrinth, you have the jumping puzzle, the clock tower. You know, you have, I mean, you know, so much stuff that you can do really in Halloween. I feel like there's Ascent to Madness, which doesn't really get done that much anymore. It's not that hard. The content has really been I don't know, people haven't really been doing that content, but you know, so there's just a lot more to do. So for Halloween, I will probably have a couple of weeks of stuff, and then so I'll do tomorrow, I'll do Halloween, and then we'll do probably in the week after that, I'll do some Halloween, and then the week after that will be it's gonna be our, isn't that the next beta? No, it might not be the next beta. I'm not sure. When is the next beta again? Isn't it like at the end of October? So would it be in 2 weeks? Tomorrow's the 5th, so it'd fall on the 19th. No, I think it's on the 26th. So we'll do something else on the Tuesday after. I think, isn't that the next release though of isn't that Iceberg Saga? So we might do the Iceberg Saga stuff if that is what is coming out. And yeah, and then we go look, you know, the week after that will be the beta, which I'm really excited for. You know, talk about Thief. Like, you know, I'm actually gonna pose that question to kind of, you know, I haven't been doing a lot of so I will tell you guys what I've been up to. So I've been back on this like Yu-Gi-Oh trip a little bit. I've always been a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just been very I don't know, I've never really had people to play with. Like throughout my years, yes, I've played with other people and stuff like that, but mostly for me it was always about just like deck building and stuff. It was never really about the actual like game, because the game itself relies, of course, like any card game, on a lot of luck of which card you're drawing. You know, it's not really about skill. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! So more than others. I feel like Magic relies more on luck, because, man, I love these Devourers, these giant ones. They don't use them often enough. Because, like, in Magic, you know, your luck is you have to usually draw energy cards, and I have terrible luck, as we all know, and my luck never works out. Like, I can never get enough energy cards, or I get just energy cards and then you don't get the right other cards, and I hate that system. Like, using one type of card to summon another type of card, to me, it's just eh. So that's why I was never a fan of Magic that much. I'm sure there's a lot of cards that can manipulate that in some way, or that work a little bit different, or you could do like, isn't there like artifacts or something where they like don't cost any energy and you can just play them or something. I'm sure there's some kind of thing. I've never been huge on Magic. Like, I don't know a lot about it. I used to, way back in the day, this is like what, 15, 16, so almost 20 years ago now was the last time I really played Magic. And that's when I first got into it. That's the only time I really played. There was a few friends that I had that I would hang out every so often with that played Magic, and we would play Magic together. And I remember I had like a blue deck. I really enjoyed the blue deck. I really enjoyed, like, because they had like these spells you could cast, like low cost spells that you could do. I remember I had like this like, I don't know, it's like water themed too, and I'm a fan of like water, as we all know. Like I like water magic and stuff. So, but there was a lot of like spell casting stuff where you could see like the opponent's deck and the cards and whatever. Like I really enjoyed using those, you know, and just summoning a bunch of like monsters and stuff was like really cool with blue decks. I never had a red deck. I think at some point I had like a flying white deck or something. And I did have a black deck at some point too. I never really liked to like mix and match the colors. I always liked going with like just one theme, which probably made me a worse player overall, because I'm sure there's like better deck compositions you can do once you like combine different colors and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, I was never that huge on Magic just because I would constantly lose, because man, I remember we actually, like, it got to the point where some of my, like, friends and stuff, we would get, like, there was these guys, these older guys, you know, we were pretty young back then, you know, we were like early teens pretty much, you know, we were like pre-teens or whatever playing the game, but there was these teenagers, you know, they were like in high school or whatever, you know, and they were playing Magic and stuff, and I remember they would challenge us like all the time, and they were like really good, of course, and they would beat us all the time, and they would like, I don't know, they were like really snarky about it and stuff. They were like, oh, you guys suck, you know, and I kind of lost interest after like constantly losing to those guys, and them being like the only ones that like beside our like 2-3 friends that we had that like would play or whatever. So eventually I just like kind of was like, you know what, I'm kind of over it, because I don't like, you know, I didn't have money to buy cards and stuff, and it's just like, whatever. So but Yu-Gi-Oh has always held my interest, just because I don't know, I always enjoyed making like all these different decks and stuff. And I remember like when my group of friends, like I didn't really have like a big group of friends, but when we got into like Yu-Gi-Oh, like for real, oh man, it was so good. I remember like there was one guy, because of course I had a water deck, right? So I had like this you know, aqua fish, like whatever, you know, deck and stuff. And I remember like just it was the structured deck that I bought, and I like modified it myself with like new cards and stuff, and made it like really, for back then, really strong. I'm sure it wouldn't be that great nowadays, but of just like these water themed cards, and it was really good. And I got these sleeves. Oh, I wasn't sure if I had to be up here. Apparently I did not. I could just come around here. I thought it was up here, but it's down here. I didn't realize that. And I remember there was one guy who also wanted to have a water themed deck. He was he was also super into like water type cards and stuff. And I remember him getting like really pissed, because he kept on like trying to challenge me over and over and over again. And I always told him, like, dude, like, it's fine. Like, I never made fun of anyone for like not being good at the game. You know, I was always like, you know, you don't have to constantly like challenge me. Like, it's fine. You know, I mean, it's like you lost, and you know, he would get like one new card, and he'd be like, oh, try me now this time, you know, whatever. And I would constantly beat him, and I'm like, you know, I wasn't trying to make fun of him or anything like that. Like, I wasn't at all, but I kind of got like annoyed, because I'm just like, okay, dude, this is getting like really boring. Like, you know, I keep on fighting your deck and I keep on beating you, whatever. And he's just like, well, how do you do it? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just, you know, you just put the cards together that work together or whatever, you know. And I just really enjoyed it. And then he ended up getting like, I didn't speak to him for like a little bit, and then like he popped up like, I want to say like a month later, and all of a sudden he had all these like new cards, and he had this there's the Orca Fortress is one of the cards or whatever, and that was like one of the newer ones at the time, I think, that was like released or something. And he had gotten that from someone, and he got the like torpedo fish that goes with it, the torpedo fish card. And he was just like challenging me, and I was like, okay, you know. And then he like beat me like way crazy. You know, he like completely beat me. And then he wanted to like battle me again and again, and I wasn't like, I kind of at that point was getting over it again, because again it was just like the same battles with the same people over and over again. I'm like, this is becoming kind of boring, you know, I don't necessarily want to do this. And oh god, spectral flame, no, 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 please leave me. Oh my god, can I do it before? Okay, that flame isn't attacking me. And yeah, and he got like pissed off because he was just like, oh well, so you like, you fight me when, you know, you duel me when you know, when I have shitty cards and you can win, but then you won't play me when. And I'm like, because I know I'm gonna lose to you, I'm like, I'm not gonna keep on doing that. You kept on insisting to do it when I was better than you, and I said, I already know that your deck's gonna win, and I don't have money to get new cards right now, and I really like, I'm kind of like not that much into it anymore, because it's like just getting very, very, very repetitive for me. And I'm like, I don't, you know, I don't really care to do that or whatever. And yeah, and that was like the last time we like really hung out, because he got like, I don't know why, I remember he got really, really pissed off about that, like really pissed off. And I was just like, dude, like I don't know what to tell you, like that's just how it goes, you know. I mean, I'm like, until I get better cards, like I'm not gonna keep on battling you, because I remember I did it like 2 or 3 times. I would like battle him and I lost, and then I was like, okay, well I'm kind of done right now. And then he was just like, no, keep on, yeah, I'm the best, you know. And he was just like all about it, and I'm like, okay, then you're the best. Like I'm not a sore loser when it comes to that. I'm like, okay, well you know, we battled plenty of times to the point where I can acknowledge that your cards are better, and you know, whatever, play better or whatever, you know. So but yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't know where I was going with all of that. That was like a long rant. But yeah, anyways, so I'm kind of like back on that trip, and I'm really excited for the the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels or whatever it's called to come out, which is like the new thing that they, well, 3 of them right here, damn. It's gonna be this new game that comes out on like all major platforms, like Steam, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Switch, Xbox Series One, Xbox One, Xbox Series One S, like all those different consoles and stuff. And yeah, I'm really excited for it, because it's the problem with Duel Links is that, I don't know, the you know, the deck size is smaller, and the field sizes are smaller, which is just really annoying, you know, because if you have like a 20 card deck, your enemy always draws exactly the cards they need to like defeat you and stuff, and it's really boring. Like the duels are really short, and some of the cards are just so broken that you can use there, where it's just like, like all the blue eyes white dragon cards, man, that card has gotten so many support cards, it's insane. Like you can literally defeat, like there's so many support cards. If you have a blue eyes white dragon deck, you're gonna win immediately, just because you have the ability to just like summon like 3 blue eyes white dragons in like your first turn. It's crazy how that is. And then, you know, it's just like you lose instantly. Like I don't, you know, I always liked having different themed cards, but I always hated making these, like, what are they called, the like different specific types, the like archetypes or whatever. So, you know, Blue Eyes has become like an archetype now, where you have all these like cards that are specifically about the Blue Eyes White Dragon cards, and like the Dark Magician has gotten them too, and I even have like in real life a Dark Magician deck, but it's really not like, the Dark Magician cards aren't that overpowered. Like, yes, you can summon a Dark Magician, and yes, maybe you can summon like some other cards, and maybe that, you know, they're pretty strong and stuff, but I think it's different. It's very different from how Blue Eyes is, because Blue Eyes is always like about like destroy everything on the other side of the field and summon like 3 ultimate, like 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, and then you can summon an ultimate dragon or something. It's like way crazy out there. So but yeah, I don't know, I still enjoy playing it though. You know, deck building is like some of the most fun that I've had ever. Like, really. Oh my god, there's so many artifacts. What the fuck? These people need to help me find artifacts. There's a scroll here. This is Serenity Temple, guys. Serenity Temple, this is like cute little outpost in Guild Wars 1 that like no one went to. It was like way on the edge of Ascalon, in the area where no one really went. There was like 2 quests you could do. And that's it. Really, there was like, well, there was like more than 2 quests, but there was like 5 quests or something you could do around that area, whatever. And it was just like this temple that they worship the gods, and I don't think we really got any details about like Serenity Temple, like at all, really. And like Roshenna, right there, you see her grave. She's one of the like high priests when you go to the temple in Guild Wars 1, so it's got, her grave is a callback to who she was. Yeah, and I don't know, it's a cute little callback area. It doesn't, you know, it's so sad. A lot of areas in Guild Wars 1 kind of went to, they kind of went to waste because they weren't used, right? They didn't do anything with them. And I actually, now making the Xingji Island video, I can tell you right now, this happens a ton. There's so many areas on Xingji Island where I'm like, man, I wish I would have done something with that. Man, I wish something would have happened there. And I think that happens a lot throughout Guild Wars 1. Where in Guild Wars 2, I don't know, they seem to have like a different design philosophy behind oops. Transformed into a cat. There's like different design philosophies as well, because in Guild Wars 1, it feels like they created the maps and then they created like the story around the maps kind of thing. Like they created the world and then they wanted to like make the, I don't know, they made like the world around it or whatever. Okay, I need to turn in a couple more of these to finish the heart. I hope I can make this. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I didn't realize that I need it. Dodge twice. It's gonna speed me up. Here. Ah, yes. Fantastic. Nice.
Now we have enough artifacts for some serious research.
Sweet, sweet research. I'll begin cataloging the finds.
Cataloging trends.
Or not necessarily around it, but it was like they had this like expansive world, and then they didn't have like an excess of like quests. Like in Guild Wars 1, like I don't know, in other MMOs, there's so many quests you can do, right? You go like specifically, I think like Final Fantasy 14 has it to the point where it's obnoxious, where you go into a town and there's just like 300,000 quests you can do, and they don't give you that great of rewards. They don't, you know, they tell like this small little story that probably most likely isn't really gonna play a part in the larger scheme of things. And they don't give you that great of experience. Like you can do the main quest just by going through the main quest. You get more than enough experience just going through the main quests and stuff. So there's really no point to those. And in Guild Wars 2, there isn't really a point to them either, because you level up so fast. I mean, you level up fast, and the max level is 20 in Guild Wars 1 anyways. But the difference is that I think there isn't that many side quests in Guild Wars 2 that when you do them, they feel a little bit more significant, right? Like, I think anyone that played Guild Wars 1 will remember the villainy of Galranth, or Galrath, or whatever he was called. I just recently did a video on the Wizard's Tower or whatever, and that was like the first time you would go to the Wizard's Tower, and it was like this faraway quest, but it gave you like a shit ton of experience points, and most people that had just gotten to Lion's Arch weren't max level yet, but that was like that's like a whole freaking level you could get from just doing that quest or whatever. And you know, people remember that, and that's just a little side quest or whatever. And I think it's more significant to have those like few in between side quests if your main story is already giving enough XP. If your main story isn't giving enough XP, having side quests and side stories and stuff is cool. But like I said, in Final Fantasy 14, you get more than enough. You can literally go through the main quest. Like, I did some of the side quests when I was going through, and then I kind of stopped because I realized that doing side quests was just not necessary. You didn't have to do them because you would get more than enough experience just going through the main quest. So I just went through the main quest, realizing that I just left all these like these exclamation points or whatever they are. I think they're exclamation points, right? Aren't they? Above the characters. I know they are in WoW. I don't know what they are in Final Fantasy 14, but you know, you just kind of leave those and you kind of just, you know, whatever, you just move on because you don't need to do them. And then, like, what's the fucking point, right? And I kind of feel bad about that because it's like then you out level them and then you can like talk to the person still and you can still do them, but you don't get any XP for it. And I'm like, what's the point then? They should just get rid of them altogether at that point, I think. Or just leave some of them and increase the XP gain maybe to the point where they are worth to do. And maybe just keep the ones that are just important to the overall story. You know, if you know, the sentinel over here tells me like, oh, I lost my weapon, it's down there, you have, I gotta go get it, and then, you know, that's, let's say that's the quest, right? So we escort him down there to get it, and then we escort him back up or whatever, and then that's the quest. That's not significant to the overall story, like no one cares. But if there's something where they're like, oh, we're trying to cleanse the corruption from Serenity Temple, you know, over here, with that's why we're collecting these ancient artifacts or whatever, then that seems significant to the overall arc of the story, you know, so they could like pick and choose what they wanted to do. And they could like pick and choose which stories to tell and stuff, and I feel like they need to really do that. Of course, asking developers to go back and do these old things for like older content and stuff is probably, I mean, we all know for Guild Wars 1 that's like out of the scope because, you know, I feel like they're short-staffed as is because of the scope of the game that they have, and it's like, you know, the game is so big and there's so many different parts to the game, and they've had so many new people start working on the game to the point where even developers have been talking about like spaghetti code and stuff, so that I don't think that would be super viable. But I think a game like Final Fantasy 14, which is newer, uses like a newer engine, doesn't have like, as far as we know anyways, doesn't have like spaghetti code. I'm sure there's some kind of parts that have spaghetti code and stuff in there, but it would be more beneficial, I think, for them because they have the manpower to do that kind of stuff. So they could just easily say like, hey, we're gonna go back, we're gonna change up some of these side quests so you guys don't have to bother with them anymore. Okay, spiders, thanks. Can I go, please? Thank you. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so I mean, you know, it is what it is. But I just wish that specifically like around times where, you know, World of Warcraft, right, Blizzard and stuff, there's so much controversy happening right now. There's so much really happening with that company right now that a lot of people are leaving in droves and they're going to other games. And I really feel like, yes, both Final Fantasy 14 and Guild Wars 2 have new expansions coming soon and stuff, so that's driving the hype, that's driving new people. But we also are getting competition with New World just releasing and people enjoying that. As far as I understand, it's pretty good. So it's like, I wish for developers to maybe say like, hey, I realize there is an influx of people coming. Maybe we should look at older content because all these people are going to be playing older content, you know, and like I said, you're kind of competing with other MMOs, and, you know, these people have played these other MMOs for years, so they're playing newer content even in World of Warcraft. You know, most of those people are playing the newest expansion that just released or whatever, you know, and they want to find good quality stuff, and then coming into a game like Guild Wars 2 where a lot of the content is still held back into the standards like of 2012 in a lot of ways is kind of a shame, you know. That's I think where the whole discussion again comes in from, doing a revision of the older skills and stuff. I think that stuff is very important, You know, I always think back of when they redid the staff for the Guardian, because I remember, you know, loot staff was like this big meme in the Guild Wars community. You know, we were all making fun of that, how during Halloween, during, you know, any meta events that had like a lot of enemies and stuff, Guardians would just go in with the staff and just press 1. It was a wave in front of you, would hit 5 enemies, and that was, you know, that's what they would do. That's what they would use. And ArenaNet decided that that wasn't good gameplay, that wasn't very helpful or engaging, and they decided to change that. And they ended up, first they just shortened it, right? First they just shortened the range on it, which seemed like a really stupid solution at first. I mean, it was a band-aid solution, I guess. Because that made that weapon completely unusable. Like, you know, the 2 skill was very good at the time. So they literally just changed, they added some stuff to the 4 skill, they changed the 1 and the 2 skill, and it feels like a completely different weapon. Completely, and they didn't even do that great of changes. Like, they didn't even, like, you know, it didn't become like a completely new weapon. You know, but it was enough of a change to make it feel that way, and make it feel worthwhile being used in all kinds of different game modes and stuff. And I think that they can really achieve that with a lot of the weapons. You know, like we talked about Necro Staff. I think Necro Staff is one of the most boring weapons. And in any setup, if you look at like meta setups, they are never used as like your main weapon. What the setups in the metas is usually is that you have that as an offhand weapon, and you start with it and you just place down your symbols and you swap down to your actual weapon set. So you just get to use that as symbols, or not symbols, the marks is what they're called. And it's like, what's the point then? What's the point of having that? You just get some extra AoE, you know, things out of it. Like, it's really boring and it's really lame. The auto attack is really slow, and it doesn't, you know, it's just, it's like kind of a mix of a like regular damage skill plus a like condition damage a little bit, because the like auto only does like regular damage. I think it doesn't do like a poison or like a condition or anything. So I don't know, it just seems very strange to me, and I think that's like definitely one of the weapons they can look at. We talked about Guardian Hammer, for example, which I think has been all but neglected throughout the years. You know, they have updated the trait for it, where now like your attacks freeze on it, but I'm like, where's the identity? Where's the theme? Like, what, everything around the Guardian is themed around fire skills, and then all of a sudden you're creating this hammer that now chills on attacks and stuff, and it's just like, okay, why? What are you doing anything else with it? Are you doing anything on the hammer skills that interact with this now chill that you're applying and stuff? There really isn't that, right? I mean, I feel like there really isn't any of that, and it's like that. So it just seems really strange to me, some of the choices. You know, it's like, okay, you went and changed the trait, so you could at least change some of the skills. I feel like some of the skills could deal with that chill. You know, if you're gonna concentrate on the chill, you could maybe have, I don't know, I feel like maybe really build around it. Maybe really build around this theme of chilling an enemy, right? Where it's like, okay, your F1, like they could have in your virtues line, for example, somewhere a trait or something. I don't know, they would have to obviously move stuff around and stuff, but they could have a trait where like your F1, instead of now passively burning, it passively chills. And then you can have a trait maybe that does on, like, if you hit an enemy with a chill over the threshold, you know, or like anytime you refresh chill on an enemy, it does like a blast around the enemy or something, like an ice blast around. I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff out, you know, something to interact with that chill that you have now created, right? So it's, I don't know, there's no theme, there's no like. So, well, first of all, welcome. And so my thoughts on that is actually interesting because I called the weapon. I didn't really call the weapon. I mean, I did, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, I'm so smart. I did in my second elite specialization speculation. I have oh crap, I don't have a gathering tool thing. That's why none of this has been working, right? Everyone's been screaming at their, oh, I don't have any on me. Oh, this is just great. This is stupid. Okay, hold on, hold on, guys. I'm gonna go in the guild hall real quick and get my unlimited that I have. I have a set of unlimited in the bank that I've been having in there. So I did 2 sets of elite specialization speculations on my channel. I did one that I just came up with. It was a set of 10 videos. I did 9 elite specializations, 9 videos of elite specializations, you know, one for every class. And I did one wrap-up video on it. And then I did one other set that I did in like one whole video. Now, in the first set, I actually had for my Ranger, which was my second video ever made, actually, was the callback to a Bunny Thumper. That's kind of what I had. I had the Tamer, which my Hammer Ranger actually got 2 pets that they were using, and I did some, you know, there was like skills with like bunnies and stuff that I had in there and stuff. That was kind of like the callback that I did. I like it. I don't know if I'm super huge on it. I hope that they can make it like something that like movement based. I would say I would like to see it maybe not necessarily be a long range weapon, but I would like to see it where, you know, you jump into battle, or maybe you like dodge out of battle and go back in, kind of how the sword does it, but like in a more significant way, where you have like a lot of CC on it and stuff like that. That's what I would like to see, like a flat damage with a lot of CC, a lot of like jumping back and forth, to make it feel different than you know, the dagger that we got. The dagger was like close range, condition based, and then we got the staff, which was, you know, long range healing. So to kind of make it feel a little bit different, maybe have like something that's not necessarily long range, but something that can engage at long range, where you can jump in at a target, you know, and they can use skills that like the warrior uses and stuff. You know, there's a lot of skills that they can do. I don't think they're gonna make it like a magical weapon or anything like that, and I think they kind of, since they have 2 hammers that they're adding with the spec, I think they're gonna do, you know, they're gonna leave the like magical aspect or the long range aspect to the elementalist, because everyone wants to argue that apparently having like 600 range on a hammer skill is long range, so, or even mid range, which I think it's like a half mid range, half melee. But this food needs to be replaced. I don't know what I need to do. I can't use any of these skills. Okay. Looks like escape. Can I catch these chickens? Oh, I can collect the chickens. Oh, look, I got an item for minstrel. All right, cool. So I mean, I like it. It just depends on, you know, it's really hard when people ask about specifically just like a weapon set, or specifically about like things like that. I don't have that, I don't have a lot of thoughts, because to me it's like really there's not that much you can say about it, right? Because it usually goes in conjunction with what are the mechanics of the elite specializations, what are you know, what are the skills, what are we get, you know, what are we getting with it other than just the weapon? You know, it's usually like a whole theme. You know, you theme that around you know, you theme your elite spec around not just the weapon and stuff. So the weapon itself I don't mind necessarily. I think it can be pretty good and it can be fun, and I think out of everything, I know people were asking for like guns specifically on Ranger and stuff. You know, I get it. I don't disagree, but I think hammer can be good. I think overall hammer can be a good weapon for it. Like I said, it just really depends on what they're doing with it. I've seen so many people even comment saying like I need my second pet, I need my second pet. I'm like, you know, when I initially made that idea of the tamer, I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea. You know, I would sit there and I would like question it myself. I was just like, I don't know if people are gonna like that and stuff, and people I think really like that stuff. So I think you know, having 2 pets would be really interesting. But again, I also think that we need to or ArenaNet needs to look at specifically like pet AI. I really would love to see like pet AI or like minion AI, or you know, whatever you want to call them, like, you know, just the AI itself for those particular things. Like I would kind of like to see that change. So but I think for like hammer skills would be cool. I can guarantee right now there's going to be like a callback skill where you summon, like, you know, like in all the ranger skills you have like an animal that you summon. You know, you have the like eagle where you like, you know, you rush towards the enemy. You have that bear where you like maul the guy. You have that shark underwater. You know, you summon these like spiritual animals, like you kind of take the form of those animals or whatever, kind of giving you the like shamanistic kind of side of stuff for the ranger. And there's definitely going to be one where you summon a bunny. All right, there's definitely going to be a skill where you summon a bunny. It's going to be so funny. I'm going to love it. I'm really looking forward to that. Because that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be like some skill where a bunny comes and like kicks you in the face. Kicks the enemy in the face or something like that. Or like bounces up and down. What's in here? I want to see what's in here. Let me go, canyon spider. So, oh, it's just varied mushrooms. Cool. I'm risking my life for mushrooms, guys. Oh god, spiders are gross. Gross. You guys gross me up. Bye. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, for me, I've been so excited about Thief. Like, I'm so excited about Thief. So excited. I've never been huge on a ranger player simply because of the pet AI. I think forcing a ranger to have a pet is just not okay. Like, well, let me take it back. I think for them to always have a pet is not right. There should be like for them to almost always have a pet is the correct thing. But the problem is that they always have it. And I think specifically for like the druid, they should get rid of the pet completely. I think. I think I'm one of the only people that thinks that way. So, you know, people can bash me all they want. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you think about me. No, but I just think that, I don't know. I like the pet, but just because of the pet AI and how annoying it is, you have to like always put it on passive if you're like in like, you know, endgamey stuff, and like, you know, we like subject 6, you know, in the fractal and stuff, you have to like put it on passive when the thing, you know, it's just like stuff like that where I'm just like, you know, it's like it's not, it doesn't help. Why do I like pacifist runs? I don't like it. It's just a challenge I put for myself. I have had probably close to 50, 60 max level characters in the game. I've played like every content multiple times now. So, you know, and I have like, guys, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to the, well, not really. I'm at 7,500 hours, you know. So it kind of gets to the point where you kind of want to make yourself a challenge or do something that's different, because the game becomes kind of stale after so many hours. There's only so many things you can do, and I don't like doing repetitive stuff. So I created this challenge for myself, you know, to do something a little bit different. I have 24 max characters on my account of all kinds. I mean, every class, you know, every you know, imaginable like thing, you know. Most classes have like 2 if not 3 builds on them. Usually different kinds of stuff. A lot of times I lean towards I end up on like doing the same thing. But yeah, so it's just kind of, you know, it gets kind of boring. So you want to do something a little bit different. You want to do something that's not the same. So, you know, and I find myself, again, I'm a very logical person when I do things. Like I guess logical is the word to use there. There's kale over there. You never see those nodes anywhere. Kale nodes. At least I don't see them very often. Like, to me, you know, it gets to the point where, oh god, I hate this. This is the worst heart in the history of hearts. I don't care for it. I'm not gonna do it, guys. I'm not gonna do this hard. I'm gonna skip this hard. But I forgot what I was gonna say. My brain, guys. You know how it is. My brain doesn't work. Something about being logical. Oh, being logical. So, like, I look at other content creators. I look at other streamers and stuff. You know, my content, I try to make it about lore and stuff, because we don't have that many lore people in Guild Wars 2. You know, I know some of them do certain stuff, and they have done in the past. You know, Wooden Potatoes, you know, was the big guy, but like, anytime I make a video, I'm always like, let me see what Wooden Potatoes has been up to, and he hasn't really made any lore videos for one reason or another. You know, I don't fault the guy or whatever, but it kind of makes me think there's some niche. You know, I get comments all the time on YouTube that are like, oh man, lore stuff, like we don't have enough of that, blah blah blah. And so that kind of, you know, that makes me want to do that. But I also look at like streaming, right? That's the other side of stuff. You know, making videos is one side, streaming is the other side. And I look at like the content creators, like what they stream, you know, and I find that a lot of them, you know, of course you have like Muckluck, and you have Mighty Teapot, and even Wooden Potatoes himself. You know, you look at the stuff that they make, and it's like a lot of it has to do with like, if it's open world, it's usually like meta events. If it's PV, you know, lots of times it's PvP. A lot of people stream like PvP, and World vs. World specifically gets streamed all the time. Like a ton of people stream that stuff, and I try to like, you know, again, I want to find a niche. I want to find stuff that not everyone does. And I'm sure there's other people that do it. I'm not saying I'm the only one. I'm not saying I'm the best. You know, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm so great because I have this. No. But I'm just trying to find my niche. I'm trying to find my like own little place where I can say that, you know, for myself. And I'm not saying that if, for example, I were to make the same stuff that other people make, I would feel personally like I am just copying someone. I'm not saying that someone would be like saying like, oh, you're just copying them, like that. It's not about that. It's for me personally. I would feel like that I just look at their stuff and I'm copying it, you know. And that's why for the longest time I didn't make any videos for the you know, I've been wanting to really make. I should really get that gold vein. Crap, let's redo this puzzle then. I want to do this jumping puzzle, but I also want to get the gold vein here. You know, for the longest time I've been wanting to make videos. Really, honestly, I've been wanting to make videos for YouTube, specifically for the lore of Guild Wars, for a better part of 10 years now. But it was always like outshined by Wooden Potatoes. Wooden Potatoes makes amazing lore videos, and his videos are just so top notch, and they're so well researched. And he just does a great job on his videos, really, honestly. And there's no way that I could ever compete with that, like, type of quality. I mean, maybe if I did this for a living, maybe then I could really sit down and concentrate and really, like, just focus my entire, you know, everything on that. But that's not the case, right? So I'm always like, I can't. You know, everything that he makes is better, and what can I possibly make that he hasn't made yet? But then come last year, he kind of stopped making videos for a little bit, and then he kind of came back and stopped making videos, and then he even started, if any of you guys watch his stuff, he started making, and I mentioned him because he's such a big inspiration for everything on my channel, a huge inspiration for everything on my channel. And then he started making like Elder Scrolls stuff, which was really cool. I watched all of those as well because I like Elder Scrolls stuff, and I really have always wanted to kind of get into it. And since I knew him from all the videos that he has made over the years concerning Guild Wars 2, I thought, man, this is like really cool to like have someone that I know now making videos about another series that I would like to know about, you know, the lore and stuff. So that was really cool to me, but it also made him like fall behind on a lot of Guild Wars stuff, to now where he's at the point where he's become like most Guild Wars 2 channels, and I'm not saying that, you know, in a negative way, because we need those channels and I appreciate a lot of those channels as well, but it's become like a Guild Wars 2 news channel, right? It's become to the point where he just talks about, like, you know, or most videos that I see for Guild Wars 2 is the, like, they talk about, oh, the, you know, what's going on, you know. It's like, I've seen, I don't know, dozens of videos, literally dozens of videos on people speculating on the Thief spec and stuff, which is all fine and dandy. I'm not saying that that's bad, but I'm saying, like, that's not the kind of niche that I'm going for. So, like I said, over the last year, I kind of have, shit. This is not good, really. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, I got it, guys. Oh, made that. Woo. If he had attacked me, that would have not been good. But yeah, so over the last year, he's kind of stepped away from that, and I'm like, you know what? I've gotten confident enough in my ability, my streaming ability, and my like ability to make stuff, and I really, you know, I have like the equipment, like the microphone and the camera and the like the programs that I need to use and stuff to kind of maybe create something, you know. And when End of Dragons came out, I kind of got the inspiration. I was like, oh man, you know, elite specs and stuff, and I kind of wanted to make my own set of elite specs, and that's kind of where that whole idea for the channel came from. So that, you know, became like my niche. It was at first just doing elite specs, but there's only so much you can really do with those. Because it became really hard for me after the first set to like think of more stuff, and then I wanted to do lore stuff. I was like, you know what, Wooden Potatoes has kind of stepped away from doing lore stuff, which is fine. I mean, if he starts, you know, if he continues, that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop, because I feel like, you know, I've kind of gotten a hang of it now to the point where I can make more videos and stuff. But yeah, it's just, it's, you know, that kind of left that window open for me to start making videos and stuff. And it's kind of become my niche for now, where not a lot of people make, look at these guys, all purple and pink, where not a lot of people do lore videos, and I hope that people appreciate them and like them, the videos that I'm gonna talk about and that I'm making and that I have made in the past. And you know, I would like to have more subjects to talk about, but again, I don't, the current stuff to me is always like, I talk about them on the stream, right? I talk about like the Thief thing I've talked about on the stream. I talked about, you know, the, like, I don't know, all those things. Like, I talk about them on my streams because I feel like that's a better way to discuss them rather than me making a video, because I find it always so weird. I feel like, you know, social media is a good place. If you're not a content creator, discussing stuff on social media is great, right? So you want to go on Reddit, you want to go on Twitter, you want to go on those, you know, on those different sites, on those different websites to talk about those. And that's good. That's great. I like that because I like the speculation part. I like the, you know, getting the hype up for those things. That's great to me. But then I like, maybe I just don't understand it, but I really don't get the, like, content creator side of that, because then they make a video talking about their impressions of it, and then you have to like respond in a comment, and that's not really a discussion. I feel like those things where they reveal something or they show a picture of it, I feel like that's like a discussion point. You want to like discuss these, like, and I feel like discussing them on stream is like just a better way of doing that, because we can like really, you know, I can say like one thing and then you guys can say like, what do you think about that, and I can say something like we did that yesterday with the thief. You know, we talked about that where, you know, I talked about how I think it's going to be like a mid-range thing, and it's going to be like jumping in and out of combat, and it's going to be like applying all these conditions maybe, and it's going to be this like condition heavy thing, and just jumping in and out of battle like they did with the signets and the half-range spells on the assassin for factions. Like that was pretty much my whole talk yesterday, and I feel like that's better done on stream rather than making a video. And I like, because I sit there and I'm like, I don't know, as I like talk about it, my thoughts like develop more, and I kind of like, I'm like, oh yeah, and then, you know, maybe someone will, oh my god, I'm dying, Jesus. You know, then I think about like what someone says, for example, like they have their own comment on something that I say, for example. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, that's a good thought, and I'll like carry that even further. You know, like we started with like talking about the Shadowmancer, which was my first elite spec that I made for the thief, and I you know, it's really funny, on that video I actually made like a really big mistake in one of the pictures early on, and I didn't even realize that, where I like put Necromancer and then I wrote on the bottom like Shadowmancer, and it's not a Necromancer, it was a thief. I don't know why I wrote Necromancer. It was really weird that I made that mistake on there, and I'm like, never realized that until like a year later. I'm like, okay, I don't think anyone ever pointed it out either. But to me, it's a matter of like discussion and like carrying it forward and kind of coming up with like these ideas, but like as a group effort kind of. I like doing that type of speculation rather than just sitting there and me saying like, oh, this is what it's gonna be. You know, I feel like that always creates a little bit of animosity in a way, because then people think that that is my set thought set, like my like I have my thought, my ideas are set in stone, and this is what I think. But that's not really how it is for me. You know, for me it's like we talk about something and then someone will be like, well, that's not a good idea, like I'd rather have it like that, and then I look at it and I'm like, oh man, that's brilliant, that's a great idea, and then I change my, oh, I'm gonna die, guys, it's gonna happen, I'm gonna die right now. Well, we're really high content area here, so I don't know if I can get that over there. Am I dead yet? Can you kill me, please? Oh, someone's helping. I died. So, and I don't know, I just really like, oh, I got my second. Yes, I got my second. What is my first one that I have? Defense, right? Second one is gonna be tactics, and I do want to level tactics one more time for vigorous shouts. Yep. So your concentration is increased. I probably need that. Deal increased strike damage, that doesn't help. Soldiers focus heals affected allies. When does soldiers focus? Hitting with a burst skill expends to great numbers. Okay, I don't hit anyone with burst skills, so we're gonna go with this. This gives me concentration. Then we wanted to no increase the power to nearby enemies. Soldiers focus is greatly increased. No. Use shake it off automatically when you have a number of conditions. As soon as I get one condition, I break out of stun and I get healed. That's nice. Applying might to you heals you. And I'm gonna do vigorous shouts. Now that gives me healing power based on power, which isn't that high anyways, but it gives also a reduced recharge. So I think this, yeah, this gets a reduced recharge of 20, but it also heals me for even more. So I get like a ton of healing out of that. Anytime I get a condition on me for every 20 seconds. So that's really nice. So do you cripple? Did that activate? I don't know if it activated. I don't think, because I got like resolution, but I don't think he does that condition. He does a ton of damage because he's way higher level. He's 5 levels higher than me. Yeah, we're gonna have to go to another area here. I'm gonna teleport somewhere to some kind of other area in a second. But yeah, I'm, you know, and then I feel, you know what's really interesting? A lot of people have been talking about Thief, of course, you know, recently, of course. But even before that picture was revealed, a lot of people have been talking about Thief and Ranger. But I haven't seen that many people talk about, like, the Engineer. I'm like, how do people feel about Mace Engineer? I think it could be really good. I think it could be really good. Oh my god, I'm dying again. This is not good. No, please. Oh my god. Ah. But yeah, I mean, the last 3, and of course I'm super excited for seeing the, oh man, every 20 seconds. That's so great, and it heals for a crap ton as well. That's awesome. Run. I don't think I can get that because there's usually a veteran right in front of it. Oh, great. Yeah, there's a whole group of enemies actually. Oh wait, no. They're here. Yeah, he hangs out there, and I don't think I can get. Let's switch maps. Bye. You know, disappear before your eyes. I'm just super excited for the Siege Turtle. Because, you know, Siege Turtles in Guild Wars 1 were really slow. So I'm like, are they going to be like a really slow mount for us? Is it going to be like barely above like 25%? Is it going to be like a 30% like increase in speed? Like still not being like really fast because it is a turtle still? Or is it going to be like full on like fast like jetpack feet kind of like turtle thing for us? Oh my god, this is not gonna end well, is it? Yeah, no, I can't do this. Bye. This is not gonna happen, so I'll run away here. Who's this guy? Oh, hello guys. We gotta, really? He's only Never mind, I'll reserve my judgment. I always found those outposts really weird. It has these walls, but it has like another wall with like giant, this giant cannon behind it, which is really cool that it has a giant cannon. But the giant cannon doesn't play into like fighting the Shatterer or anything like that, which is kind of weird. I wish it did. I wish there was like, you had to like defend this cannon as well from the Shatterer, and then that's what, like, you know how like they have the cannon for Tequatl? They should have this be the same thing where you like shoot off a wing or something from it, and that's what grounds it. That'd be really fucking cool. Alright, so let's get that gold ore, and let's move. There's nothing here. So I've done pretty much everything on this map. I'm surprised as how much I could get done in the later half, especially with being low level. But you know, like I said, a lot of the hearts now require you to like fight a lot of enemies, but there was quite a lot of stuff I could do. So I think this shows like when these maps were made, because I feel like the ones where the hearts specifically where you have to like fight a lot of enemies were made later because they were like on crunch, and they would just be like, okay, fight this enemy, destroy this, the end, moving on, right? Whereas like the maps and hearts where collect this, or you can bring this, or you can do that, you know, where like the heart, the description is like really long. That to me kind of shows they like put a lot of effort into it, and you know, that kind of maybe shows me that maybe those maps were done earlier. I mean, we know this was like one of the earlier maps because this was like for the demo for like the press and stuff, the press release and stuff that they like, the press thing that they had a couple times. You know, they had this map particularly with I think there was like one part where you could go to oh, there's that thing in there. The you can go to Steel Ice Span, which, you know, I didn't talk about that. There was like this, the concept of Steel Ice Span was supposed to be this gigantic bridge that crosses a crosses like chasm. It didn't really pan out to be that. But it's just kind of like this one area you walk through. All right, so I have done this. Am I ready to go here? I don't feel ready for these areas. I mean, I did a 40 to 50 area here. I think I'm gonna do the. I think I'm gonna do the cities, guys, because I can do the cities, and I think this is a good time to do the cities and just kind of finish those up, and then that way, because I can get like extra experience. What is this? Oh, daily. Yeah. Okay.
Good evening, little lady.
I've traveled very far to get here. It's very dirty, isn't it?
Turdy.
The filth, the crime, the danger.
Let's open this. My daily gathering. So much stuff. So much free stuff. Well, it's not really free. I paid for all that. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Let's just go, you know, in circles or whatever. Let's just go around. It's a circus, guys. Or carnival. Same difference. The Delacroix and Mead residence. So this is where Marjorie and Casimir live. Just so, and this is really interesting that they live right here. There's actually the sewer grate that I talked about in one of my latest videos. Spare copper. I might have some to spare. I might try being more grateful, so now I'm supposed to grovel and thank you for being rich while I starve. Oh boy. Oh boy. Goodbye. I'm leaving. And this is the dead end, which is a bar. Man, I haven't been in that bar in forever. Let's go in. Yeah, you get to see. This is the first time we saw Marjorie. Well, actually, second time, I think. Back in like season 1. Look at this, guys. You get the little bar. Wasn't there like other rooms you can go into? Can I like clip through the wall? No, I think that's it. It's just weird. It's just like a little bar with patrons and stuff. Of course, me being a Norn, I'm way taller than that road. Towering over everyone. Alright. But I love this little corner with the sewer grate and the house there that they live. It's kind of weird to see that, because I think originally, like, wasn't that originally just Marjorie's house, and then they even changed it for like for Casimir to be living there too.
Easier to hide in rain and fog beneath a cloudless sky.
Hey, I like sunny days.
What's back there?
See you around.
Is it chicken? Is there anything back here? Nope. Yeah, you got the little musical thing here. What's it called? Uzlan something? Uzlan's Mechanical Orchestra. Which Uzlan turns out to be like this guy that's trying to like I don't know, he's part of the White Mantle storyline or whatever in the long run. I'm gonna do the lower city first. I probably missed like a bunch of stuff. Oh no, actually I got everything here. I gotta get this, this is Minister Wee's house, which is amazing. I love his house. That's why, like, when I'm a human, I always go for that story step where you go to the party at his house, because I love his house. His mansion is so I think they call it manor. Well, as when you're streaming, you can open up your live streaming page on the YouTube Studio, and be on your chat screen. There is a little there's the emoji button, and right next to it is the poll button, like on the very bottom, like underneath like your name and like say something where you can actually type the text. There's a poll button, and it lets you do a poll with 4 answers. You can do a poll, and you can custom poll, and you can write it. I try to do polls every so often for you guys just to keep it interactive. So this is Minister, I think they call it manor. Oh, it's a mansion. So they do call it mansion, not a manor, which is almost the same thing, I think. But yeah, front entrance right here. You come in. It's this gigantic dining hall. Has all these rooms everywhere. Okay. There's this side room here. You can even sit in this. kind of clipping through stuff. Looks so ridiculous, doesn't it? Okay, get up. You come out here. This is again another entrance out. This is where we actually came in. This is where like the big party takes place, pretty much. You come out here, and he has this like little garden. Okay, you can go over here. Look at that. Look at that. What? It's like a griffin or whatever. It's really cool. I love this. With the little, you have a little fountain here. Usually there's water coming out of that, and you can get some drake hounds here with the lights and stuff. It's really cool. I love this. It has like so much charm to it. Kitchen, right, with food and stuff. Rooms you can't go into. You can go upstairs. And woo, spinning. And then this is like the study, I guess. It has like all these, you know, and you have this giant Dolyak thing, but you have the 2 stairs that lead down. And then you have some balconies on the side here. There's one here that leads into the garden. And then one that leads out on the road, I think, right? Yeah, just the open road out there, right? That's the other entrance or whatever. And then you have, this is the bedroom, I believe. Yeah, look, and you have this bedroom, which is like way out in the open, which is kind of weird. That part, I feel like that part is kind of weird. But I love this house. It's pretty cool. Mansion. I don't know what the other 2 rooms would be. Maybe bathrooms or something. They do have a sewer system here, so there should be bathrooms somewhere in here. Rurikton is really cool by itself. Like, I don't know, I just like it. There's a tavern here as well that you can go to, the Maiden's Whisper. I don't know who that is. I'm not gonna really talk to him or anything. But yeah, you have all these like different things again. Basement down here. It's Willow. She's an agent of the Whispers. Greetings. Yeah, how do you know my name? Yeah, so she's part of the Order of Whispers, I believe. Us? Who's us? I could inform you. Yeah. So she dresses, obviously, in Order of Whispers stuff. And they have a map of Tyria up here. And there's something marked on the map. Or something's... No, there's something on the map. Right there. I don't know why. Look, it's Cantha, guys. They have a map of Cantha. This is Tyria, there's Cantha. Bam. And this is, that's Alona right here. But there's Cantha, guys. There's Xingji Island right there. You have Kainang City up there. There's this down here is the Jade Sea, and then you have the Aquavald Forest down here. We don't know what these parts back here are. Down, so. Cool. So yeah, there isn't that much you can do with the streaming, really. Sorry, I was just like way into the game right now that I didn't even realize you guys would questions. You can have custom emojis. Do I don't have, do I have any? Did I put mine on? Did I put my custom ones on? Symbols? No, maybe I don't. I don't know if you can make your own custom emojis. Yeah, so there's a thing there. I don't know if that's an option that I have. I could put some in. I might do that at some point, but there's not much. I mean, it gives you like information on like the viewers. It tells you like the stream health on here. It tells you like the settings that you have. And you can kind of like watch it yourself, pretty much. You can kind of see yourself and see how it's going. You can pretty much watch your own stream. So I leave it open on the side because the text is easier to read for me on that side. The rules for the pacifist run are pretty much, well, unless I die or I need to go to like a completely different map, I'm not allowed to use waypoints. I'm not allowed to use weapon skills or any skills of anything that I pick up. Like, I'm not allowed to use any one skills of anything I pick up, even if it's something that I can like eat or something. I can use anything that requires me to press F on. So if I'm like crushing crystals or something and it's like press F to crush crystals and stuff, I can do that. And then I have my signets are allowed. You know, passive skills that activate like Last Stand, for example, and like right here, shrug it off. Like those are allowed because they just like automatically activate without me having to do anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and it's just a matter of doing as much as you can on a map before moving on. So I really shouldn't be running through like maps and stuff, and I try not to do that. I really, you know, it gets, this hallway leads nowhere. That's kind of fishy, isn't it? Yeah, and that's it here, and then you can go upstairs. I love this tavern. There's like, look, there's so many rooms, and nothing ever happens in here. Right, you can sit on all these chairs. Again, empty hallway doesn't lead anywhere. Not sure why it's there. They could have put some shelves in there. You can go even further up. And you have this training room. Oh, I didn't even know this existed. Look at this. You can train up here. It's kind of cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much the only rules that I have for this playthrough. There's really not, you know, it's just a matter of finishing as much as you can. This is one of my favorite concept arts. They use this for the Blood Legion homelands in Guild Wars 1. Really beautiful. I want to find the where's the group of adventurers that are named after the, I think it's somewhere around here, isn't it? There they are.
Last one to list his statues and growl.
Yeah, exploration mining. There's some hearts you can do, like, cause you can like pick up like scrolls or something that you can like bring to the NPC, or there's events you can do. We just did one earlier at Serenity Temple where you like pick up the stuff and you bring it to the guy. Like I can do that all with the F skill, so I can finish those hearts and those events. So I get most XP through that. No, because then I'm using, if I'm using banners, then I'm using skills. So I'm not allowed to do that. And I can't finish the story because I can't fight anyone. And I don't want to like tag along with someone else that fights it for me. So that would be kind of cheating. I feel like that would kind of defeat the purpose. Yeah, these guys are named after the 4 initial people that you can join.
Good to meet you.
In Guild Wars 1. A really cool callback. I like that a lot. I wish we would see these out more. Like, I wish they would have helped with, like, I don't know, Ebon Hawk getting attacked or something. Seeing those out would be really cool. This seems really dangerous. Do you see that? There's a little, oh, there's a, why is there a rope? Is that a rope? Why is there like a pulley system? What does it do? What's the purpose there? It doesn't really do anything, does it? Kind of weird. This seems really strange. Okay, bye. Am I missing anything in this district? No. I'll get all the inner ring and then the inside later. I want to get most of this stuff. I know I missed, I haven't done this. I need to do that. Oh, yeah, I'll go in a circle. No, I have died. I'm trying to like just not die as much as I can. I have died. Hold on. I've died 8 times now on this character. I don't know. I just feel like deleting a character after you die would be just a bit too much. I guess the challenge is getting to 80. It's just time investment. I'm actually gonna probably pause this particular run starting next week. I will probably start a different run just because this is like so time consuming. I've been on this run for months now, and I kind of took a little break and then I came back, and I think I'm gonna kind of come back to it every so often because it gets kind of boring and kind of repetitive a little bit. There's not a lot of action going on, and I'm actually gonna start a Pokemon challenge for Guild Wars 2. A ranger with just using pets, and the goal with that particular, the goal on this run is to get to level 80, right? Because I can't do world like map completion. I can't do you know, there's a lot of stuff I can't do, right? The goal with the Pokemon challenge, a ranger just using pets, is gonna be world completion. It's gonna be me going in, and I don't want to do, I'm not going to do my home instance right now, guys. I'm going to do that at some other point. I have so much crap in here. I don't even want to look at any of it. What's up there? Oh, it's the orphanage. I missed the orphanage. I gotta go back. Oh, look at that teddy bear. It's so cute. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a Pokemon challenge, which is gonna have me, I'm gonna be able to use my pet, use pet skills again, not have any weapon skills, not only use signets on my my utility skills and stuff, and really just use my pet. And the goal for that run is gonna be world completion. Map completion. So I'm gonna be using like different boosts and stuff to kind of give myself like a little bit of an edge going through stuff. I don't know how much. I don't think I'm gonna get too much of it. But because this is kind of like, it kind of is dragging on a little bit on this run, so I won't delete this character or anything. I'll come back to it at some point, but I like to do new things for you guys. You know, I don't like to constantly do the same stuff over and over again. So we'll do something different on Monday next week. So we're still doing our hard gold randomized Nuzlocke on Sundays, of course, because I'm having a blast with that, guys. You don't understand. Like, I literally get done with it. I'm like, man, that was so, like, wasn't yesterday crazy? Yesterday was crazy. I'm telling you, yesterday was insane. Seriously insane yesterday. Someone is not excited for the thief spec. Well, I'm disappointed in you. Just kidding. I'm not. You're entitled to your opinion. 100%. If you're not excited, you're not excited. Hey, listen, I know there's some people that wanted other weapons. What? So for the person that voted no, or for the, you know, or maybe even other people, what are some other weapons you would have liked to have seen for the thief? What are some stuff you would have liked to see? Offhand sword, offhand shield, maybe, or like a swashbuckler. You know, of course, my thing was the I had the trident for my first elite specialization speculation, and the, what was the second one? What was the second one? I don't remember what the second one was that I had, guys. I don't remember. That's really depressing. I can't remember. Someone needs to remind me. Oh, it was a great sword. I know a lot of people want a great sword, right? How did this go again? Is that correct? I don't think that's correct. Nope. How do you get up there again? Oh, no mounts either, by the way. Okay, fair enough. I think the specs themselves, I understand a little bit of the disappointment, and for me, I have a little bit of mixed feelings about it because I made two whole sets of elite specialization speculations, and I think a lot of them, and I'm not saying that I'm oh so great and I'm like really smart about it or whatever, but I think a lot of them really came together really well. Okay, like the Guardian, for example, I think they did a better job on a Guardian elite spec than I did. Like either of mine. What was the second one? I don't know what the second one was. What was the second one? I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure that both of them were very... they weren't quite as good as what they have right now. But there's a lot of them that I like came up with like really good stuff. And I'm like kind of upset that like I'm not right with any of them. Okay, I can use a glider. So I can glide. If I can get up here, I can glide over. Let's try this. There we go. I got it. Yeah, I remember like having to jump across from here. But how do you get like... Oh, I see. So you're supposed to jump up here, up here, up here. I get it. I got it now. And then you're supposed to like jump across here. Okay, got it. A million years ago since I did this last. Like, and specifically for the thief, you know, because you said you're not a scepter guy. I'm excited for the scepter because I had like a similar, I feel like, theme. I don't know. We don't really know what the whole thief elite spec is, but my theme was a Shadowmancer was my original one with I gave the thief a trident. And then I had a Shadow Knight, I think I called it, which that was the community one where we all came up together with stuff. And that was a great sword and stuff. And that honestly, like, which is funny, which I think Danny was the one who pointed it out, but and he was the one that helped a lot on the Shadow Knight. But he said that our Shadow Knight idea is pretty much the Vindicator that we got is pretty much the Shadow Knight that we created in a lot of ways. Because I had like one where you jump towards the enemy or something, I said, and you slam your sword into the ground. We kind of got that with the dodge ability and stuff. So that kind of has survived, and I kind of got that right, I guess. But I don't know, I had like a lot of different concepts that I had made that I'm just disappointed they didn't. I'm not saying they should have looked at mine and been like, oh, we're gonna use what he's saying. Like, obviously I'm a nobody, but I don't know. I wish I would have, like, because I always when I made both sets, I always tried to look at it from ArenaNet's perspective, and I always looked at what's viable, what's something that they could really do, you know, because I feel like a lot of people, when they make those elite speculations, they come up with like these crazy ideas where it's just like, oh, I want this and this, and I want this, and I want this, I want to be able to do this, and it's just like, okay, you need to calm down. Or they just say a theme, right? Like, I cannot tell you how many times someone has said, oh, ninja for the thief. And I'm like, ninja doesn't work though, because we have the Daredevil, which is pretty much a ninja. Just because it's not called a ninja and it's not Asian themed doesn't mean it's not a ninja. It's pretty much a ninja. You get mobility based attacks, you get like, you know, you have your different dodges, which all like do different things, but they're all based on like, I mean, you even do like a little Naruto run, you know, you get like a staff like a monk, which is like, you know, pretty Asian themed, you know, having a staff and like whacking someone with that, you know, it's like based off of like, I feel like Asian style like martial arts or whatever with a stick, not a stick, but like a staff, right? And it's like, I don't know, I just feel like, I don't know, people are so quick to just say that. I'm like, okay, but then, okay, take, you know, I don't mind that actual thought process, but I'm like, okay, then take it to the next level though. Tell me the theme, tell me about what you would make a ninja, for example. And they can't. Like, you know, there was one guy in one of the comments that talked about this before, but, you know, and I'm not trying to bash this person. I don't know who that person is, and I'm not saying that they're an idiot or whatever. I'm just saying that some of the stuff they were saying doesn't really work out, because they were talking about, oh, I want a lot of stealth, and I want a lot of like movement based stuff, and I want like a lot of like just like quick attacks and stuff like that. I'm like, but you have that, all of that with the Daredevil. Like, you can make an almost perma stealth thief, and you can have like, you have movement based stuff. Everything's really quickly like cast and stuff on there, and I don't know, it's just, I'm like, it's already a ninja theme, right? So I think the magic aspect was a good direction to go in, just because it's very niche for that class. We had, you know, our initial one was the Daredevil, which was a close range ninja-esque theme, right? Like a spec, you know, it's pretty, just because it wasn't released for factions, I'm telling you, doesn't mean it's not a ninja. It's pretty much a ninja. And then you got the Daredevil, which is like absolutely no mobility with long range. You know, you got the rifle and stuff, and you got the like cantrips and stuff that are like long range, and they deal with like stealth and stuff, just being very stationary and stuff. So I think having this new spec being like maybe magic based, maybe having like shadow, poison magic, but like I said, I hope that it's going to be like a mobility based, but not in the way of like dodging and moving towards your target. But I talked about this where I think this new elite spec could lean very heavily on the assassin from Guild Wars 1. Yeah, but I don't know. We have bolas that we fire with the pistol. We already pretty much throw kunai with the one skill that we have, the one physical skill on the Daredevil. You know, we have the punch ability that we have, which is, you know, almost like monk inspired. I don't know. It just I feel like there's a lot of stuff that doesn't really work. You know. Yeah, I think they could have. I think one thing they could have definitely done with the Daredevil specifically is maybe change the steal ability a little bit and do something different with it. I think that's one thing they definitely could have changed. I feel like just changing it to mug and like not doing anything with it just didn't feel right. But I don't know. It feels very ninja-esque to me. You know, I've made a thief that's pretty much that. You know, and you just dress him up in the ninja outfit and stuff, and you give him 2 daggers, and he feels like a ninja. It feels very ninja-esque, and I feel like making a ninja even with an offhand sword wouldn't feel very unique. You know, it just, because you gotta imagine that like these elite specs aren't supposed to feel like other elite specs. They're supposed to feel different. And it would just feel very, very Daredevil-ish. And, you know, someone said, which, you know, that's a good point. Someone said that, oh, well, Daredevil sucks. And I'm like, that's a whole different discussion, right? Then you want to talk about balance. Jade Golemancer. Well, that was actually my second elite spec that my first elite spec specialization speculation that I made was a pyrotechnic, like a fireworks person that deals with like these ancient like Asian, like the Asian art of making fireworks kind of thing, where like the new mechanic was making like this rocket that you could have different abilities with and stuff. Like that was kind of my theme for that. And then my second one was a Golemancer, which was pretty simple, straightforward. Like you get golems, you get a staff, you get long range skills with a Golemancer, like with the staff. But my first one was a fireworks guy with a mace, double mace. I actually gave him double mace, so I did call that one as well. So but yeah, I don't know, with the thief, I just really like that they're going with the niche. I feel like it's definitely a niche where, like, I feel like Warrior, for example, is not, the Bladesworn doesn't really fill in a niche. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. It just doesn't feel, it just feels like another Warrior. It doesn't feel unique. Like, I feel like Spellbreaker feels a little bit different. It doesn't quite feel like a Warrior because of the double dagger and the like full counter. Like I really like the full counter mechanic, but then Berserker just feels like an advanced Warrior. I'm like, not super happy with that. So I like that idea. And you know what? It's actually interesting that you say that, because, you know, lore-wise, we actually talk about, you know, they talk a lot about the Jade stuff, right? They talk about the, like, Dragon Jade. You know, it's been named Dragon Jade. And all the stuff, you know, and I have my theories on all of that. You know, it's all in my videos. If you guys want to see all my theories on all that stuff, it's on my channel. You can watch all that stuff. But what's interesting, oh, we finished. I did this very methodical, and it was very nice. I did a good job. I gotta give myself props for that. Let's do another city. Let's do, oh, you know what? The Grove is so simple to do. It's so easy. But, you know, one thing they don't talk about is or they only have talked about a little bit, is the amber, right? We had, which that was, the jade was in the Jade Sea, and it had to do with the Luxons, right? That's what they were mining. That's what they were all about. You had to get the jadeite shards to make your armor in Guild Wars 1 and stuff. And then you had on the other side, you had in the Equivald Forest, you had the amber, right? And I haven't really talked about the amber a lot, and I kind of forgot about the amber until they released the Bladesworn, where they talked about in this new weapon, in this gunblade, they use amber like bullets. And I'm like, so there is amber technology on top of like jade technology, dragon jade, right? They took the jade thing to a different level, where we talk about dragon jade and dragon technology. You know, we see the guy with the prosthetic arm, and it's all like jade magic and stuff. But then it's like, now we have some kind of technology that's based on amber as well, which amber was made into bullets. And I'm like, they could definitely do something where they have some kind of technological advances with amber, and they could have it where like the engineer uses amber now to make golems, or make, like you said, make one of those juggernauts, right? The juggernauts were made by the forever trees. You know, they had to like sing to the forever trees, and that's transformed them or whatever. They could maybe have something where that magic, those rituals or whatever, evolved eventually into becoming these like jade armors or something that you can put on. I don't know. It's definitely an interesting thought, I think. Think about the amber, you know, as the opposition to the jade, the dragon jade. The amber is, I would like them to do something with it, so I could see it being used in like in late spec. I don't know, I talked about this where I just think they like kind of bullshitted a little bit too much with the lore aspect of the elite specs, where they kind of, you know, like the Willbender, for example. Like, nowhere in lore have the Willbenders ever existed, but all of a sudden they're talking about like, oh, Willbenders are the ancient defenders of the emperors, and they have protected the Canthan throne for many generations. I'm like, nowhere in the lore. You can literally look up the lore. Like, there is a giant page on the wiki where you can look up the entire lore of the Canthan history, and nowhere does it mention Willbenders. So it feels like shoehorned in. And, you know, I talked about this, where I feel like they could have done some elites, like they could have done, I wish they would have based elite specs on the advances that we have made in game, and they could have used that. Same with the like engineer, for example, where they could have had like, you know, I don't know, like the priory has gone into the Equivald Forest and has discovered like amber, and has developed something or whatever. The Asuras, you know, the Asuras have gone there, and they have developed this technology that you can now use for your engineer that's based off of amber technology or something. You know, like those types of things, where like the Guardian could really be based off of, because it's kind of a little bit based off of Almora. You know, Almora, like when we fought her and stuff, she kind of had those like jumping around, like blue fire line abilities and stuff. It's super based off of that, and I wish they would have like just straight up been like, yeah, to honor Almora, Guardians have now picked up a second sword and are now using these new skills that, you know, that was left behind by Almora or whatever. You know, her knowledge was left behind or something, or she has trained a generation of guardians that now use these same abilities or something. I really feel like they could have based it on like things we have already accomplished in the game. So it makes you kind of feel like you can go through there, but you can't.
Don't you get bored sitting here all day?
You don't have to
I'm
travel.
trying to get everything on the top floor here.
You can learn a great deal from pale trees, long roots, and arching boughs. Though it stretches its limbs far overhead, it remains rooted, and it bends so as not to break.
Like, and I'm not saying that they're doing a bad job, but I just hate them. You know, they told us that they're going to be basing the elite specs more on the like lore and the like world of Kantha and stuff, but I'm like, but you're still creating new lore in order to make your elite specs fit, and that kind of sucks. Like, that's not, you know, it shouldn't feel that way. It shouldn't feel that way that you're now creating this extra lore in order to make these elite specs. So, you know, it's like that, and they could have easily done that with Almora. Like, I think a lot of people would have really enjoyed seeing that like obvious callback and like really mentioning her by name and saying like, yeah, you know, Guardians are just taking after Almora or whatever. So yeah, but you know, and like you said, that would lean into like current story stuff. I feel like we as the commander have come so far that we don't need to lean on other stuff. I feel like we as the commander, we have defeated so many powerful beings, like maybe we absorbed some magic as well, right? It's always other people or other beings absorbing magic and becoming powerful. You know, it's like Balthazar absorbing powers from here, other dragons absorbing this power, you know, Joko getting the power from this over here, and then like, you know, it's always like someone else, you know, Oreen getting the power over here. Like, what about us? Like, how are we so powerful? You know, they could really put this into lore where it's like, oh, the commander has defeated so many, like we've defeated all these elder dragons and even a god, right? Like, that could have affected us in some way where we have now become more powerful, and they could really lean on the story on that. You know, some people were saying, for example, like they wanted to have greatsword for the Revenant, which, you know, fine, whatever, that's not really what I wanted, but I'm totally okay with it, and I like the idea still, you know, whatever. But then they also talk about like they could have really, I don't know, they could have had Balthazar, they could have had Traherne, you know, all that stuff kind of leans into stuff we have seen. Like, Revenant could channel Traherne because we have such a strong connection to Traherne, and he's returned, like he's like fully formed in the mist now, and he's here to help us. So he wants us to pick up a greatsword, and he helps us, and he's there for us. You know, that would be really cool. Like, I would really love to see that kind of callback. This is not that great. Well, I'll take the vitality over the healing power. Yeah, but then it's like, but that's the thing, is like, it's a given, but they don't ever explore that as a possibility of us getting stronger. You know, we get new elite specs, but it's like they don't lean on the actual game that they're creating, the lore that's already been, that they're creating with each release. They're creating more lore. They don't lean on that to really bring the mechanics together with the gameplay. You know, and I feel like that would just be really cool to lean on that. You know, they could have like, I don't know, what was some other examples. You know, like I said, Traherne was one that I had. I don't know what could we do with the thief. Like, I'm sure there's something you could do with the thief, where you can kind of lean on something there. You know, like, you know, if we go, for example, let's take, for example, my tamer idea with having 2 pets at the same time. We could say that because of how powerful we've become, like the energies we have absorbed, the magics we have absorbed, or you know, whatever, or like that Oreen has given to us or whatever. We have now learned how to control 2 pets at the same time, right? And kind of maybe give this idea of like controlling a pet is some kind of magic. It's like a beast mastery magic, because everything is based on magic in Tyria. You know, everything is magic based. So you can say that beast mastery, you know, all the traits and everything is usually always a magic line. So that beast mastery is some kind of magic, and it was enhanced through the hands of the magic that we absorbed or that we got from somewhere, and now we can have 2 pets. Things like that, you know. I wish they would do that a lot more than saying like, oh yeah, willbenders, yeah, these are new, but they have always existed. Even though you played in Guild Wars 1 and we only saw one willbender, which was Shira Tagachi, who was a willbender pretty much. Like, they don't say that outright, but that's pretty much exactly what it is. But yeah, you know, it's nowhere mentioned in lore ever. I'm gonna get this hero challenge here. So. See, okay, and that was another good example. That was another example that I had. Exactly right, Ryland, because I actually, this was one of like a couple weeks before they showed us it was the week where I was streaming where they had revealed the picture of the Revenant, and we saw it was a great sword. And I remember saying on one of my streams, I said, guys, I'm thinking this is Ryland because the background colors were red and blue, right? And I was like, that was the Iceroot Saga theme. It was red and blue, and I'm feeling like, you know, Ryland just passed away, so maybe as a Revenant, you know, Ridlock kind of is channeling Ryland, his son, and that's the redemption we get for Ryland, because he was evil and he ended up, you know, he's a bad guy pretty much, and he ended up like, you know, we kill him or whatever, but now he's coming back and he has to redeem himself by fighting with us. And we channel him with a greatsword, and we use frost and fire magic, maybe even like both together, because, you know, he was defeated by Primordius or something, or they could have it like a dual theme still, like how they have that right now. But it's based off of Ryland, which is like current lore stuff, and that would really feel like we achieved this, right? The whole goal of what I'm saying is to make us really feel like we achieved this. The Willbender to me is like, you're giving me this bullshit lore that didn't exist before just to make my character stronger. And it just kind of feels like, why though? Like, why are you doing this? You know, it doesn't really make any sense that now we're going to cancel, and all of a sudden like, oh yeah, Willbenders, by the way, like you can now channel these like ancient powers that we're just now saying have been there all the time, the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like maybe I'm just too complainy about this. Like, maybe I need to stop bitching about it. But I don't know. I just feel like that is something they could really... Okay, what am I missing? I'm missing 2 points of interest that are in the middle above. Okay. In the middle above. Oh, the Impala's Chamber is one of them for sure. Yeah, but I mean, you know, the whole Revenant idea is weird as is, because you can walk around as a Revenant, play level 1 through 80, and only to go into Heart of Thorns, and Rox being, oh, what's this new magic you have, Ridlock? You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't make sense anyways. And it doesn't necessarily have to make sense. I mean, it's a little throwaway line, you know, it's whatever. And, you know, you can kind of plot armor this as well, because we talk about the mist, and the mist is like this all expansive, you know, it takes you into the past and it takes you into the future and stuff. Like, maybe we're channeling Ryland from the future, who's already dead in the future. And, you know, something like that, where it's maybe even if you're a Revenant, you could remark on that, right? They could have like a little chat option where it's just like, oh yeah, I challenge you from the mists, or you know, I channel you from the mists, from when you're dead. But they don't have to like spoil it that he turns out to be a bad guy or something, you know. Yeah, I mean, and that's true. I mean, and that is true, but you know, I mean, I feel like, you know, might as well almost be like Ogden seeing like some of the dwarves and stuff. I mean, it's like, you know, you channel what's his face, King Jalis and stuff, and like Ogden doesn't say anything, you know. It's almost the same thing because they knew each other, you know. So I don't know. Same with like Glint, I feel like, you know, you see Glint's body in season 4, but it's like you channel her through the mist, but then she also is like in the, you know, you channel her in the mist, but then she also helps you at the same time when you're fighting in season 4, but you like still channel her. It's almost the same thing, you know. I mean, so to me that wouldn't be that terrible of a thing really to have. So I could definitely see it, just because they have such a divide between what the lores and what the gameplay is. They have such a huge divide. Like I said, they create this like bullshit lore where it's like, okay, whatever. Like Harbinger. Like what the hell is a Harbinger? Like I talk about this all the time. Harbinger feels so like there's no theme, there's no like identity to the Harbinger. Like, the Harbinger is supposed to be an alchemist, but then, like, you use pistols, and then the shroud skills don't really, like, coincide with, like, what the pistol skills are, and they also don't really coincide with what the elixir skills are, so it's like, what is the Harbinger? You know, it's like, where's that theme coming from? You know, they kind of talked about the Dragon Jade. There's only one skill they use with Dragon Jade, and Blight seems to be this mechanic that they pulled out of their ass. So I don't know, I would have rather had something that made a little bit more sense, you know. So not to say that I don't like them, but just a lot of them don't make sense, you know. Like, what makes a virtuoso Asian? None of that is really Asian. You could have fit that into any expansion. None of that is Canthan themed. Just because you say it's Canthan themed doesn't make it so. You know, you gotta back that up with proof and things. There's a thing up there. How do you get up there? Well, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I will tell you right now, you should probably go and watch my theory videos that I have. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have theories on this stuff. I have like a bunch of theories. So just to give you like a short summary of the stuff that I've come up with. I mean, you're more than welcome to watch those videos. I think a lot of the theories that I have on those things are really good and might even pan out. I'm stuck. Oh my god, I'm stuck. I'm not allowed to teleport, but I guess this is it. This is the one time I'm allowed to teleport. I can't. Oh wait, never mind. I made it. Yay! I tried to jump earlier and it wouldn't let me. But yeah, so to kind of give you an overview of the theory that I had, my initial theory, there's a video from about like 9-10 months ago that I made, maybe even longer, that I made specifically about the deep sea dragon, and that video is called deep sea dragon theory or something like that. And in that video, I talked about how I kind of talk about the origin of the deep sea dragon and how I think the deep sea dragon has the power to solidify stuff. That's why we see the jade see as being jade. I think that's a power that was given to the emperors from the dragon, and that's why we have the harvest festival, because they offer up their like services or whatever I said in the theory is like their services or something to the dragon at the harvest temple, and in exchange they receive that power, and they have that power and they never use that power, but then Shiro kills the emperor and absorbs that power, and then once he gets killed, that's when that power gets unleashed, that magic gets unleashed, and that's when everything solidifies, right? That dragon magic gets released, and that's why they call it dragon jade. So that was kind of my whole theory, that the ancient Canthan emperors, the royal family, knew about the deep sea dragon being there, or they had some kind of contact with them. In old Canthan lore, it talks about how Cantha was created by the seafaring people, and they kind of settled around the coast and stuff like that. And you know, I theorized that the first royal family kind of figured out they were at war maybe with these dragons, because we see the salt spray dragons in the Jade Sea in Guild Wars 1, and like my theory was that they were maybe at war with them, and then the dragon, my theory also talks about what the dragons, they talk about the like influences, the spheres of influences that they have, you know, where like Zaitan was shadow and death. Now my theory is that the deep sea dragon actually is harmony, but I'm switching this over. I'm thinking it's duality rather than harmony, and I will talk about that in a second too. But I talked about how it's harmony or and water, of course, and the reason that that its harmony is because it just wants peace. It just wants to be left alone. That's why it sleeps under, like, deep in the ocean, in the Jade Sea. That's where it was located. And that to make peace, they decided to give this power to the emperor, to the royal family, and in exchange they keep the secret that there is a dragon there, and they just offer up magic to it every year. That's why they have the harvest festival. Okay, so that was my initial theory that I had, and there's actually 2 dragon statues that we see in Cantha that in my theory I thought they were modeled after the deep sea dragon. So now when the picture came out, the one that you talk about, my theory actually got a little bit crazier, and the reason is because there was 2 pictures released at the very same time for that preview stream. There was one released where, like you said, the sea serpent, which I think is the deep sea dragon or part of it, and I will talk about that as well, is flying above the harvest temple, and that is where the dragon jade pretty much originated from, right? That's where the explosion was from. That's why we see that like green aura that swirls around the tower and stuff. That's why we see that. And then you have the other image. There's a second image, and you'll find that image together at the stream. They showed them almost at around the same time in that stream, where there's a dragon deep underwater. And when you look at the end of the dragon logo, there's actually 2 dragons, and my new theory is that the deep sea dragon is actually of duality, and there's actually 2 dragons. There's one good one, which is the one that we see with Marjorie and Casimir in the front, and it's flying above that temple, and then there's the bad one, which is underneath the ocean, and it's like a yin and yang thing that's like very Asian themed, where it's like a duality thing, and that's like kind of where my theory was going with, was just kind of like that is these dragon statues that we see is of the deep sea dragon. They were molded by the royal like stone workers back in the day. They made those to remind the people that, or remind the people that there maybe is something more, like, or I don't know, they just made that to just honor these dragons or whatever. Maybe they knew about the dragons or something, and they made that to honor, and then over many years that knowledge of these dragons was lost to time. So now they have these dragon statues that no one knows why they're there. They're just these dragon statues, you know. So that's kind of like I'm kind of thinking that there's a duality theme going on where there's two parts to the dragon, and we're gonna be talking to the friendly part of the dragon. Like dragons. I don't think the yin and yang is necessarily good and evil, but it's two opposing sides, right? It's one dragon, but it's like two souls to one or two bodies to one soul kind of thing, maybe. And it's like a duality thing, and it's like two different dragons, and in order to defeat them, we have to, like, I don't know, they're like, I feel like it's gonna be a theme of like having two dragons that we have to deal with. I think that's why they released the pictures without saying anything. They haven't talked about these pictures at all. They haven't talked about the deep sea dragon at all, but I think they were hinting, they were showing at that, if you watch back that live stream specifically, you will find that they released those, they show those pictures pretty much close at the very same time, and I think they did that very deliberately to kind of show like, oh, there's two dragons, it's in the logo, and we've shown pictures of the two different scenes. But yeah, so I have those videos. If you want to go back and watch those, you're more than welcome to, and just, you know, let me know what you think about that. But that's pretty much the two theories. On the second part of the theory, where I talked about the duality and stuff, I actually have theories on dragon minions. I actually take that like a step further, and I talk about what could be dragon minions and things that we could see return from Guild Wars 1 and stuff like that. Minions and creatures and all kinds of stuff like that. So and then so there's a lot of like theory stuff that I have on my channel. So if you like that kind of stuff, have a look at those, and yeah, just, you know, more stuff to speculate on. But that's pretty much where I kind of went with that whole thought, is like these dragons, you know, we kind of, they obviously, the dragon jade, because it ties in so well, because they now call it dragon jade. Why would they call it dragon jade? Why wouldn't they just call it jade? It's always been called jade. In Guild Wars 1, it's always called jade. It was never anything special, but now all of a sudden it's dragon jade. It makes me think of the origins are based off of the dragon, which means that the dragon seems to have the power to solidify stuff, to like turn things into solid states, which with the forest, it just turned it into stone rather than being living beings, right? Because, like, you know, or living beings, biological beings, right? A forest is made out of like biological stuff because it's like wood and, you know, trees and plants and, you know, whatever. And now it's turned to stone, which is this pretty much this like inanimate, like solidified, like solid thing or whatever. And I think we're gonna see two dragons, guys. I'm so convinced by that we're gonna see two dragons, and I will be highly surprised if we don't. I will be incredibly surprised if they in the end say it's one dragon and there's nothing going on with duality. I really think that, and some people have argued, yes, duality was already a theme because we just had Iceberg Saga, which was a, you know, frost and you know, frost and fire theme, right? It was just like a thing, but we have had it before. You know, we had the Frost and Flame release, like, which was one of the first early season 1 releases and stuff, and I think there's still the possibility of having this duality that's not necessarily you know, Frost and Flame is like two opposing forces that, like, in nature are like very against each other. But I feel like the duality theme of having two different dragons is more, we have to find a way for these dragons, rather than killing them. I think we're really going to look for a way in the lore to make them work together and have them coexist with Oreen, so we don't have to find a replacement for them. That they're going to be part of the new pantheon of dragons, of elder dragons. They're going to stay. You know, of course there's a whole idea with like Mother still, so who the fuck is Mother? Oh no, I'm stuck again. Jesus. Well, I would hate for them to do that though. I want them, because I think the solution that I'm providing here is, okay, it was always called Jade and now it's called Dragon Jade, but it's because the dragons have been awakening and we now have some kind of knowledge that this power of solidifying stems from the dragon. Like maybe the deep sea dragon awakened, and we still have Kunavang, which is in contact with the humans in Cantha, right? We can talk to her in Guild Wars 1. So, and particularly the naming of the Dragon Jade, there could be something where Kunavang, you know, the deep sea dragon awakens, and maybe she now realizes, or maybe she didn't have any knowledge just because like she had this like disconnect, this link between her, like how, well, Galind always knew that Krakator existed. Maybe she like kept it a secret from the people until the deep sea dragon awakened. And now that the deep sea dragon has awakened, or most of the other dragons have awakened, you know, with starting with Primordius. So maybe when Primordius awakened, Kunavang realized the elder dragons are awakening, and it is now time for me to inform the humans of the existence of dragons. So maybe in Cantha, she informed the people that live there, like, hey, there's elder dragons, like they're here to destroy the world or whatever, you know. And she says that maybe she explains to them that, yeah, God, really? I can't. Okay, well, gonna not die. Let's not die. I don't want to add a death to that. But maybe she explains to them that, like, hey, you know, this jade that was created was actually made by a dragon, right? And the deep sea dragon has the power to solidify it, and that's when they were like, oh, okay, we'll name it Dragon Jade then, because it's based off of that. And, you know, they were like, maybe we can use it because it's magically imbued and we can make stuff with it, you know. They like realized that or whatever. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of outlying stuff that I need to go to. I forgot about that. There's a port down there. There's all these different areas. I forgot. So I think they can really do like a good, like a good tie-in. I don't want them to, like, you know, like Deus Ex Machina this shit where they, like, you know, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we call it Dragon Jade because of the magic that was imbued by this dragon or whatever. Like, I would hate that. Like, give me an already existing, like I said, build on the lore that you already have, and that would be a good lore explanation, you know, where it's like, oh, this makes sense. Okay, I'll be heading out soon too. I don't know what's wrong. Since we have I always go longer when we have discussion going on, because, you know, I like when people get engaged in the discussion and stuff, and then I usually stay longer. So, can I go here? Where does this lead? So, but just to let everyone. Oh, okay, got one thing here. I love these docks. These docks are cool. I really love that they went back to man, I wanna go in there. That they went back to Icebrood Saga, like, to use these docks, because I feel like, I mean, they're so underused, and now they finally get used again, which was great. I thought it was a good thing to see, because they're beautiful. It's like really cool to hang out here and stuff. You know, they have like the regular boats here, and then they have the, you know, that was used, and then they have these like ancient boats. They're not ancient boats, but these like older looking boats. You see a lot of those like sunk outside of ore and stuff. It's cool. Beep 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 beep. Oh my goodness! Isn't it alright? Oh, there we go. I was like, there's some way to get up there. But yeah, I don't, and you know what's really strange? Like I said yesterday, I think it's really strange that they haven't really spoken. Where does this portal lead? Because I came through that portal. Where does this portal lead? To Radasum? It's really strange that they haven't talked any lore, right? The lore has been so completely ignored by them, and I'm like, but why? Okay, I want to go to the other thing. You know, it makes me think that I don't know. It makes me think that there's like stuff, you know, even like in this Xingji video that's coming out. I talked about this as well, where the welcome back, where it's weird because they like don't talk about, like, we went to Saitong Harbor for the skiffs and fishing, right? But they avoided, like, you can tell in the stream that they were avoiding looking up anywhere on the cliffside. They were looking straight at the water. It was always like, bam, our camera's focused straight on the water. That's it. We don't want to see anything else. They would like constantly avoid going anywhere, doing anything. They were just on the dock. They wouldn't, like, you know, even leave the harbor or whatever with the boat. They would stay in the tiny little area in the harbor, and that's it. That's all they showed. And it's kind of like, what are they like so afraid of? Like, they can at least preview some of these areas. Like, it's not gonna ruin the game if you like show us a little bit of stuff, you know? I don't know, it just seems kind of like, what are they hiding that they don't want us to see? They don't want to spoil anything? Like, I don't know, it seems kind of weird. So it just kind of make me think this leads to Radasum, I think, or Radanovis. Yeah, no, maybe not, I don't know. Oh, Lion's Arch, nope, I don't want to go. I'll go to the other areas. So I don't know, it's kind of, you know, and then for someone like me, you know, it kind of sucks too, because I do lore stuff, and it's like, okay, how much lore can I talk about that, because I don't know, there's so much Kansan lore, you guys don't understand. Like, actually looking at the Kansan lore, there is pages upon pages upon pages, not to mention the stuff that we I'm gonna go over there. The stuff that we do in Guild Wars 1, that all like is so much lore. There's so much lore, right? And I'm you know, in the video, because people have asked about more Kansan lore, and I'm like, but I don't know what to talk about. I have no idea what I could possibly talk about that would be even remotely interesting right now to talk about, because I just don't know where they're going with it. I really would hate to spend all this time and all this like effort into videos that is going to be about, you know, I don't know, let's say the royal line of the emperors. I don't think we're even going to go to the royal palace because of how the map is laid out. The map that they've shown us, it looks like they're cutting off the whole area of the palace, Raizu Palace and stuff. So it's just kind of like, should I make a video on that? I mean, I could, but is it gonna pan out for me? Is it gonna be something interesting that people want to see? Is it gonna be something that's gonna be talked about? We don't know. So it's just kind of, I'm kind of reserved on making those extra videos and stuff. Look at Mr. Sparkles. Zoja still dead as a doornail. Never to be seen again. Ooh, no, that's not good. Yeah, that's not fun. Wait, I'm looking for my ping. My ping is fine. Knock on wood, we haven't had any issues this stream. Hallelujah. Got so many problems lately. Oh, we're done with the map. Okay. Man, I'm so unlucky. I never get a key. Can you even get keys? I don't think you can get keys for these. For the cities. What's a... Both other cities are really hard to do. I'm gonna do Holbrack. I've been on the map, but I haven't gotten this on any unlocked. No waypoints unlocked. That's strange. Okay. Weird. Usually you get like at least one unlocked when you're on the map. I don't know why it was even there. That's okay. I'm gonna do, this is gonna be my last map for tonight. I'm gonna head out after this. I need to learn like other stuff, but at this point we have like so many levels before we go anywhere. I'm gonna do discipline just for shits and giggles. The third line is gonna suck because it's not gonna help us at all on this. So we're gonna do Holbrack, which is gonna take probably a long time to do, but that's okay. That's okay. We like hanging out, so. Yeah, and like I said, you know, lore-wise, talking specifically about like Icebreath Saga and stuff, like everything was resolved. Like every new threat, because I'm thinking of this because I'm going to the Shrine of Owl, like everything that they created lore-wise was resolved in Icebreath Saga. Like there's nothing where I could say like, oh, this is like an outstanding threat. Everything was just like wrapped up really nice and tight, and no loose ends on that part. And I'm like, thanks. I mean, I don't mind having too many, like I mind having too many loose ends. Like I hate that. You know, when you create a story only for every little story thread to end in nothing is really freaking annoying. And that's pretty much, I think, what annoys me about the personal stories so much, because there's so many things that end in like these loose ends. Like I talked about the Sanguinary Blade. You know, I really hated that they didn't bring this idea back. You know, they talked about like dragon blood weapons, but that was for Krakatoric. And then talking about the Sanguinary Blade, like they don't even talk about it. Like nothing gets mentioned about the Sanguinary Blade, and it's really a shame, because I'm like, the Sanguinary Blade is like, was like this huge thing that really dealt, like could have really dealt a huge amount with like Ryland and Primordias and stuff, and they never bring it back, and we're never gonna talk about it. I'm like, I hate that. Drives me nuts. So
Come to me, kids, and any who would hear a tale of Wolf's glory.
yeah, I guess. I mean, that's like one, that's not really loose end though, because we pretty much know where that's going, I guess. I appreciate you checking in and like discussing a lot of stuff. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish up this map here, guys, and I'm gonna head out myself. So, but I really appreciate it, and yeah, let me know what you think of this stuff, and let me know, you know, once you watch all that stuff, if there's something you want to see me make a video on or something. So, but you make videos too, which is great, so I would love to see some of that stuff. I don't know what videos you make. It would be cool to watch those as well. Like I'm really bad about watching other people's videos, just because I'm always busy making my own, and then I'm busy like with guild stuff, and then I'm busy with work, and then I'm busy with home life. I have so much stuff I gotta do at my house, guys. It's not even funny. But I'm such a procrastinator. I've been pushing it off for literally months at this point, and I have like 2 weeks to get stuff done at my house. Can I do it? We don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. Okay, I'm gonna go back here. Let's go in there. All right, well, I'll check that out. I'll see. I'll watch that stuff. But yes, thank you so much. Bye. Have a good night. Oh, we're level 40. Oh, we leveled up. I didn't even. I realized we'd leveled up, and then I just didn't realize in my brain. It's like it took a minute. You know, my brain had to like heat up. It's like a delicious pizza. Had to heat up for a minute. Now it's working. We leveled up. We're level 47. So I think so next week when I start, so I will finish this off. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get another level. Whoa, look at that. Bam, 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 bam. So next week when we start, I'm probably gonna go here and here. Like I'm gonna do these two. I'm gonna do Dredge Haunt, because we did do a 40 to 50 area. So I'm gonna go to Dredge Haunt. I'll do that, which I think has a lot of stuff I can do too. And then I'm gonna go to Blood Tide. And then maybe maybe, well, depending on what level we are at that point, because there's a 50 to 60 here, 50 to 60 here. So I'll probably do those two maps. I'll do the 50 to 60 here and a 50 to 60 here. And then we'll have to do the 55 to 65, and then move into 60 to 70, 60 to 70. Luckily here, this is really nice because there's no hearts, first of all, and they're in level 5 steps to get to level 80. So I think, oh man, should I do this next week? I don't know. Kind of like excited now that we're getting like levels and stuff. We got like a lot of levels today. We got like 4 levels. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I guess. I don't know. You know, this journey isn't done. I'm definitely going to finish this. I'm like over halfway done. There's no way I'm going to back out of it. But I might just delay it. So, but like I said, I want to get some stuff done at my house too. And hopefully in a month or so, I'm not making any promises, in a month or so, I should probably be starting on recording my Legend of Dragoon playthrough. That doesn't mean it's going to be uploaded anytime soon. That might take a while for me to get through because I don't know how grindy it's going to get for me. And I'm not going to like cheat or anything on it. So I might have to grind it a little bit in that game. So we'll have to see. But I definitely want to get that started in a couple months, in a month or two. And I do, because I do want to finish up before that happens. I do want to do a couple more videos and definitely do the Grandia review because I don't want to start a new game before I finish this, you know. And then of course I'm also probably gonna put the Heart Gold and Soul Silver randomized Nuzlocke on a break once Brilliant Diamond comes out. Shining Pearl, Brilliant, I'll get the Brilliant Diamond release, but I really want to play that. It looks so cute, it looks so fun, and that was the one generation I skipped over. That is the one it was Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, and Black and White. I picked Pokemon back up at Black and White 2. That's when I got back into Pokemon. I took like a few years of a break from Pokemon. You know, just doing, you know, playing other stuff or whatever. Like I just kind of lost interest in Pokemon. And yeah, and like Diamond and Pearl, like I remember watching the anime back in the day, but I never really I didn't play the games or anything. I saw some of the Pokemon and stuff, like you know, I love Piplup and stuff like that, but I never really I never played any of them. So I remember at some point I started a playthrough of Platinum, like not on my channel or anything, like just for me personally at the house here. And I don't know, I got kind of like bored of it, I think. Like I don't know, I never finished it, and I didn't retain like a lot of the like stuff that happened with it as well. So but yeah, I would love to have a I would love to just play through that. I think I love Pokemon content, and just like, you know, it usually gets a lot of viewers, a lot of people getting involved, and it's just fun, you know. It's just really fun, I think, doing Pokemon specifically. I think I really understand where people come from with that, because it's very like, it's easy to pick up, everyone knows it, you know. It's really just this cool little adventure you can go through and stuff. So we'll do that, and then there's gonna be other stuff that I'm gonna be doing, guys. It's gonna be like, I don't think I'm gonna do Metroid Dread. I was thinking about doing Metroid Dread on the channel, but I'm not that good at Metroid games, really. Like, I don't know, I'm not that great. Like Metroid Prime I probably would do, but not Metroid Dread. So but there's other stuff coming out that I really wanna that I really wanna do. So and then of course End of Dragons is gonna approach like even more and more and more, and I think like I said, the betas are happening really early, I feel like, to the point where, you know, we still have like, what, by the end of October what we're gonna, by the end of December, we'll have all the betas done, and then we'll have another like 2 months before release. So I don't know if they're gonna give us anything else in between that. Maybe like a couple of test weekends or something. We might see that. You know, they've done that in the past where they like gave us like a couple of weekends where they were like stress test, stress testing the servers and stuff like that, if they can hold up and whatever. And then alliances, I mean, alliances was supposed to be like the next thing. I really wanted to do alliances. I was gonna probably like I was gonna play the alliance thing, and I was gonna see how it is, and that would, like, I kind of wanted to do that as my Monday thing. I wanted to put this on hold and do World vs. World on Mondays with you guys, and like get people in like the Discord and stuff, but it's just like not a thing anymore. So now we're kind of boned. We're kind of here and nothing is happening with that. So it's kind of a shame, but you know what? It is what it is. So I hope I didn't miss any of the outlying stuff, because I'm trying to get all the stuff outlying, and then I can go up here. I'll go top to bottom again, and then I'll go inside. Oh, there's stuff back here too. That's right. Oh, I went by it. Right by it. But yeah, lots of good stuff happening. And then I will make a video. I talked about this before. I haven't really worked on that list. I had a list of games, guys, that like I wanted to get through this year, and I didn't really get through any of these. So yeah, but I'm still playing through some of the stuff, and I will be playing through some of the stuff. I will end the poll here, so people are excited. We got the one chicken Nooble did not like the elite spec, but they wanted maybe they wanted a ninja-esque, I'm not sure, but yeah. So most people are excited for it. I am excited for it as well, very much so, to the point where I can't fucking wait. I hope we get the reveal tomorrow, guys. If we get the reveal tomorrow, there's gonna be a long section in tomorrow's stream where I'm gonna talk about that. It's gonna happen, 100%. I'm gonna go off to the side here first. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this area over here with the bridge, this, and then I'm gonna, you know, move in here and then do all this stuff up top. So that's all that kind of does. But yeah, because I'm just a shadow mage or a magic base. I even, you know, I kind of had the thought of like maybe they're using it as like a close range weapon. Maybe they're using it like a mace almost, where you like punch your enemy, but it's like a magical punch, like magical hitting with the staff or something. But then they could have made mace, right? They could have just made it a mace. So I think it's gonna be a mid-range magic weapon, and I'm so for it. I'm so here for it. So here for it, dude. And then I will make a video based on once all 9 elite specs have been released and we have played them, I will make a video kind of talking about my elite specs and how they compare to the ones that have come out, and kind of talk about what I like, what I dislike, kind of just a wrap-up video on all 9 of them. I don't want to do one for everyone. Like I said, it's super oversaturated YouTube with those kinds of videos where every time we get like a picture, someone has to make a 15-minute video about, oh my god, it's gonna be this and this, and I'm like, okay, go, like, awesome, like, good for them to make it, but I'm just not interested in making that kind of stuff myself. So it's gonna be, I will make one whole video once all of them are released and kind of give my thoughts on them and kind of make it in conjunction compared to my, because a lot of people didn't make elite specialization speculations, you know, not very many made those. There was certain ones, ideas that were put out there. There was on Reddit a lot of stuff or whatever, but there was just, you know, not that many. And I kind of, you know, I will make that in conjunction, like what I think about them and how they compare to like mine, or how mine compared to them or whatever, and which one I prefer, where I will say like, I prefer the Willbender over the 2 that I had for the Guardian, for example, or you know, like things like that, where, you know, I don't know, like Thief, where it's like almost the same thing, and I don't know, I'll just give my thoughts on that stuff. So and make like one wrap-up video. So there's a few videos that will happen by the end of the year. Those are longer videos, and the Xingji video that I'm working on, I will have to wait to see how the reactions for it are. If the reactions are good, people like it, and people want to see more of that stuff. Like if I see like a couple of hundred views on there, which for my videos it's a lot, a couple hundred views on there, that will be a lot of views for my videos, and that will show me that people are interested in that kind of stuff. And then I will probably, you know, and depending on how many comments I get on it and stuff, and that will lead into me making other videos. Now if I only get, again, like under 100, which a lot of my videos get like anywhere between 20 and 80 views usually, if it's anywhere in there, I don't see a reason to make it for the other areas, just because we haven't really seen the other areas, and we don't know where. We know we're going to Xingji Island, we know that's going to be a thing, and we know we're going to be able to explore probably most, if not all of it. And yeah, so but yeah, that's pretty much the plan here, guys. Lore videos. So there's a couple more episodes that I'm gonna be doing for the Lore Mystery Bit series, and they should be coming out this week, if not next week. That I haven't started on them, but they don't take me that long to make, and I have like pretty solid ideas on what I want to make. And yeah, and oh god, I'm missing 3. Oh, I missed that bridge over there, and then 2 up here. Okay, so I missed the bridge. That's okay. Ooh, really sit like that. I always thought that was so weird. Like, how the heck did they get all the way up there to build that even? It's a bit over the top, isn't it? I always hate it that you could only see Divinity's Reach from the starter area. Like, you can't see the Pale Tree, you can't see the Black Citadel, and I really hate that. I feel like they're all, like, the Great Lodge, it's such a nice area. Like, why, if I go here to the Dreadtron Cliffs, can I not see the Great Lodge? I should be able to see the Great Lodge. The Great Lodge is fucking gigantic. Look at that building. It's like 100 stories high. Like, I'm a Norn, right? And it's massive. It's as huge as a mountain. I should be able to see the Great Lodge from behind it. They should really, like, I feel like they should have really added that in. And they didn't do that, so I don't know, it's kind of my opinion on that. Okay, give me this, Traveler's Loft. And I gotta get the last one. Man, I remember how excited I was. Like, I don't know, Holbrack, like, hearing about Holbrack, or not hearing, but reading about Holbrack in the books and stuff, and then like seeing, like hearing about it from the developers and stuff when they were like releasing the stuff. Man, it's so cool. But look at how huge that Great Hall is. Look at how fucking massive that is. That's as big as any mountain around, right? That's bigger than that mountain. It's bigger than like those mountains over there. Like, it's bigger than like these mountains. It's probably bigger than that mountain. At least rivals it, you know what I mean? Should be able to see it from when I go through that, but I can't see it. So it's just kind of like, eh. Really. You know, I'm not saying we should be able to see it from the pass here, because we do get this mountain right here that has the 4 spirit statues on it, which that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty much the like thing that you get to see there. I think that's like the area. that you get to see there. So I think we don't need to see Holbrack there, but you know, earlier you kind of, some people might have noticed, like, you know, you go to Astoria and you would be like, you would think you would be able to see the pale tree behind it, right? Because it's such a big tree. Look at that. This whole map looks really weird when you actually look at the map. Like, look at this. There's pathways down here that they have built. There is a garden over here that you can't go to. I feel like there was an area that they wanted to, like, they wanted you to go to this area at least over here. Like, that's straight up a walkway here that leads into underneath this. And then when you go down here, this looks like it was edited with paint. Look at that. Look at how this is drawn. This was edited with paint. You would really think they would have done a better job with that. But yeah, it's really, this is weird. But you would think that you go here and you can see the pale tree behind it, because the pale tree goes really high up too. It's as high as the Great Lodge, probably, the way it goes up. And you should be able to see that over these little mountains. Like, they're not that tall of mountains and stuff, so it's kind of a shame. Black Citadel isn't that tall, I don't think. And it's a little bit like further away, because the actual building isn't that huge. It's back here, but they could still have that where they could kind of make that, you know. And then of course Radasum, I think 100% you should be able to see that. 100% you should be able to see that giant cube. It's a giant floating cube. Like, you should be able to see that. I don't know, it's my opinion. They only did Divinity's Reach. You can see it anywhere in Queensdale can you see Divinity's Reach, but they did not do the same with the other cities. And they could still go back and do that. Just saying. Alright, guys. Everyone has kind of left the station anyways. I'm going to head out. Tomorrow we're going to do Mad King's Day, Halloween stuff. And probably, hopefully, maybe we'll discuss the thief stuff that maybe, hopefully, will be revealed tomorrow. I'm really hoping. I'm waiting every day to see that fucking video because I really want to see it. So we'll discuss that. We'll do some Halloween. I'm gonna create a new character for you guys. We'll go through. We'll do like, you know, you get like a weapon at level 10 or whatever that levels up with you or whatever. It was really cool. And it might have like a cool skin or something to it. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah. Pretty much that's it. I'll see you guys in the next tomorrow, next episode, whatever. Bye, guys.